Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to TraderTV.live. It's Wednesday, March 25th. North American stock futures back in negative territory, although just watching the Dow here creeping into positive territory. So little changed overall to slightly negative as the Senate has agreed with Congress to pass the $2 trillion+ coronavirus aid package that should happen later on today. Some of the details in the actual package yet to be announced, but a lot of stocks kind of hinting towards where we could see some of those funds going to. A lot of the airlines are back in positive territory this morning. Cruise lines moving higher this morning as well. A lot to get to as far as individual stocks. Overall, the coronavirus cases, though, in the U.S. and globally still not showing any sign of slowing as far as additional cases go. Now more than 400 cases confirmed globally, including over 50,000 alone in the U.S. Individually today, Nike shares also higher after reporting solid earnings after market yesterday, and also coming out saying that they have been able to weather the coronavirus outbreak so far. Energy stocks to the downside today. Crude oil off about 2% in the pre-market as we saw a big move to the upside yesterday. So some of the energy names moving to the downside along with crude. And it's Wednesday, so that means crude oil inventory is coming up at 10:30 this morning. Good morning, guys. Back to the downside, or kind of flat, I guess, heading towards the open, which I guess is nice to see for a change.
Yeah, I mean, the yo-yo continues to get a record up day, and we come back in. The timing of it, you mean the prince coming down with coronavirus, and overnight the market's sliding back. But you talked about the airlines and the travel industry, of course, with the bill that'll be voted on today. Should be just a formality, it looks like, giving a massive boost to the airline industry, at least in terms of the share prices right now that we're looking at. I mean, I just saw JetBlue, huge move to the upside in some of these names.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be an exciting day today. Obviously, you see here on the imbalance locator, Ford with a big bid here, XOM with a big bid. Here's Delta, Carnival, here's Boeing. Boeing already, what a great little long this has been for anybody that was long. And I was actually long yesterday, about 115 or something. I was able to get out 130 near the end of the day. But look at this, guys, 150 today. So Boeing, big move yesterday, obviously, up to 150 today. Great little 50% move almost from the bottom. I mean, if the bottom was $80 or so, you're almost up 100% from that move. But yeah, should be an exciting day. Lots to trade. I've got Apple, Square, and Microsoft written down. That's about it. So yeah, I'll be looking at
lots of stuff to look at, and of course, maybe Boeing was part of those profits that were made yesterday within the company Day Trade the World. We look at this by market, top trader by individual market here, and as usual, Amex coming in number one, 120,000. Again, someone pulling massive amounts of money in that market. You look at the moves that are happening in GDX and the SPY, and that'll explain why. Big numbers out of Germany, 25,000. New York, 24. TSX coming through with 19 as well, and then you see the rest of Europe rounding things out. So once again, the story goes, there's lots of ways to make money in this volatility. We'll see if we can't give you some names to look at and some plays. Brendan, let's get the show on the road here. Is lots of names, individual names to look at, I think, today.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into some markets first. We'll head over to the APAC region, have a look at how things shaped up overnight in Asia. Big numbers to the upside as far as the APAC region is concerned. It was a positive session before some negativity returned towards the end of the day. Yeah, let's go to the APAC region board here, guys, and we'll have a look at how things were doing overnight in Asia. There we go. Yeah, big numbers right across the board. 8% for Japan leading the way. Australia back to the upside, 8.6% as well. The Nifty in India doing quite nicely, 6%. Both Chinese markets also nicely higher. We'll shift over to Europe and see a bit of a mixed story now. You can see Germany back to the downside, 1.6%. England back in positive territory. Only just, obviously, the news coming out this morning, Prince Charles testing positive for COVID-19. Italy in negative territory as well, along with Turkey down at the bottom. Let's have a look at North American markets here and see how things are shaping up. Yeah, a bit of a mixed story here. You can see, yeah, the Dow just went positive there ever so slightly. Everything else slightly negative so far. At the bottom, you can see both crude oil and gold to the downside. Mentioned about a 2% move for crude oil. So some of the oil stocks could be a little bit interesting today, showing a little bit of relative weakness in the pre-market. pre-market. First one we'll get to here as far as individual names, going to be Nike. We mentioned Nike reporting aftermarket yesterday. Decent quarter, posting revenue of $10.10 billion versus an expected $9.8 billion. CEO John Donahoe also saying the company is even beginning to see a recovery start in its Chinese market. So a nice look here for Nike, guys, up about 9.5%.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that you're going to want to start hearing, of course, is the recovery coming out of China. They talked about being back to work, and you're seeing some of the pictures coming out of there. People are going at least a little bit back to normal life in some places, not everywhere. Nike, of course, already up a $20 move from the bottom here at 60. It's maybe halfway back if you look at that $100 area where this entire episode has started. So you can look at this $80 even area, at least symbolically, is a key area. This is a high in the pre-market right at that 80 even, more or less. So this could be an interesting breakout. It's worth keeping in mind here that you do have a massive gap to fill. So it could be a nice little opportunity if the market is going to do the whole yo-yo effect. I do like this one to be able to take the opportunity to go to the downside because there's no support until some big levels here at 74 and then a few levels below that. On the way down, 76, 70, 77 was also a decent area, and you can see that's where things clogged up in the aftermarket. So a few things to look for if we slide to the downside in terms of support. Otherwise, you're looking at that 80.
Yeah, I mean, Nike now back 80% of their stores back online in China. Obviously, Apple will follow suit, and so will everybody else. And then you'll be looking at these prices and say, why didn't I pick some up down here? But I don't really like Nike right now. Olympics gone, sports gone, everything gone. So for me, although good price action today, I don't like this one as a long-term investment. Just my opinion right now until we get everything settled back. But, you know, it could be only a few months until all sports are back. So hopefully Nike can recoup from that.
Hopefully only a few months before we get some sports back. That would be great. Let's go over to the airlines, guys. You mentioned briefly there Boeing had a little bit of news as well. Another nice day to the upside for Boeing in the pre-market here. Reuters reporting that the plane maker now plans to restart production of the grounded 737 MAX now by May, which is a little bit earlier than the prior target that had been given. The Senate bill obviously supposedly has some money in it allotted for the airlines also. So 17% for Boeing here this morning, guys. Looks like 148 is gone. We're now pushing up towards 150.
150. You talk about look, we're as high as 370, even higher than that. But we are getting this nice little bounce. It is what it is. We actually don't have text of this deal, and apologize for the wick on that chart there when we go to the higher time frame. We don't have text of this deal yet, but ultimately I think the thing people are going to be considering here is not just the size, but what are the conditions put on the money that they're going to get, what has to be bought back. The fact that there's no share buybacks for a year in terms of the airline, that's what's expected. That's not going to matter. None of these companies are probably doing buybacks the next year in this climate anyway, so I feel that that's going to be a minor thing. That's why Boeing and all these other names looking very, very strong. There's no big hiccups here. When people were talking about corporate welfare and all that, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything too prohibitive. At least the market's reacting that way to some of these names here. And once again, Boeing for me, I'm going to be looking to play only price action. I want to see this one open up. I want to see it go into support and then maybe take some breakout trades. I don't have any actual targets on it when it's up 20% here, but we'll be following along. I do like I do like that pre-market bottom. You can see that coincides with the after hours yesterday if we get a dip, but it's so far away now from this 137 that it's hard to imagine we'll be trading that anytime soon right off the bat.
Yeah, I see what's up to Jeff there mentioning Airbus. Of course, trade those over there on the OTC market, so you can have a quick look at that. Yeah, let's not be afraid here. 149 even, 150 on Boeing. You're probably not going to get that. It's going to open up, I would assume, above 150 today. That's a great breakout, 150.75 or so. I'll be long Boeing today at some point. Look, the recovery is going to come at some point. The 737 MAX is going to get back going, but I do like some of those other calls there, including that Airbus, which is EADSY on the pink sheets, Delta, United, American, all these airlines moving around. Southwest catches an upgrade today as well, Brendan.
All right, guys, I just noticed JetBlue here as well. JBLU, big pop, went from 11 to 12 all at once there on a big volume spike. So JBLU also getting a little bit of attention here in the pre-market. Yeah, you can see up here, just went from 11 to 12 and back down again. So a little bit of volume coming into JetBlue as well, something to look at. Let's go over to some of the cruise lines also supposedly getting some of the funding coming from this bill. RCL also in the news today. What was the story on RCL? There was, they extended the suspension of their cruise lines until May 12th. That was another 2 weeks from their original date that they were planning to get back to work as far as Royal Caribbean is concerned. So a little pop here, up above $40 now for RCL.
Yeah, I mean, this is up. This is double in a couple weeks here. If you come on the daily chart here, RCL was dipped down as low as $19.50, I guess, $19.11 or so. Yeah, now you're up to $40. So in 3 days, you've doubled your money on this cruise line. And yeah, I think people are getting short squeezed. I would look at this level right here. This is sort of when the drop really started getting elevated here at $45. So right now you're at 40, 41, up another 18% here. You can see it's bounced off $41 a couple times in the pre-market. So there's definitely an opportunity to go long there and use kind of a bottom of 38, 39 maybe. So you give yourself about $1 there worth of room. If you go long 41, I would say you need more than $1, probably down to 39. So give it about $2 of room. I like these plays for a short squeeze. Obviously Carnival is another one that I've been pounding the pavement on short squeezes as well. This was probably one of the best trades in the last little while when it broke out one day. I think it was a couple days ago. It was $13.50 or something, and it ripped to like $15. So you could get another breakthrough 16. I just wonder if it's too high. I don't think people are actually going back on cruises right now. So.
Yeah, those are the hard ones. I think when
it
comes to demand. I mean, you can get all the relief you want, but if demand doesn't come back in, you're probably facing a longer recovery in some of those names. But you play the price action, so people are getting squeezed. They're getting squeezed.
Interesting to see Norwegian as well, guys. NCLH was actually doing the most volume of this group in the pre-market. So another one to look at there if you want to have a look at the travel stocks. Let's go to Facebook. Facebook announced aftermarket yesterday that, I mean, this is to be expected, I guess, but said that usage of their platform surging because of the quarantine. A lot of people at home sitting on social media, obviously. So FB here, not a big move in the pre-market. Decent volume, though, down actually right now in negative territory.
Not dissimilar from what we were talking about yesterday, I think, along lines with Twitter as well, where it's like, yeah, you might be getting more engagement, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're doing well when it comes to ad space. And again, this is what it comes down to when you get this contraction. However, more eyeballs can't be a bad thing ultimately. And when the recovery comes along the line, we get a nice little bump up there in the futures there. Yeah, ES just turned positive on the session. So, I mean, I was already looking at Facebook through this 159 to 160 area. If we show some strength within the market, we might be rubbing up on that right away here. Watch out for yesterday's high, which does come relatively quickly at 161.40. Facebook basically flat on the session, however.
Yeah, pound the Facebook long here, which I'll be doing for sure. 161.25 long. Look at the futures, guys. Nice little move back up here right now, 24.20 to 24.40. So that's a beautiful little move. We'll definitely be taking Facebook long. And look, it's the same reason why I picked up Twitter the other day in my own account for longer term. I think it just makes a lot of sense to buy these social media stocks. Twitter off the bottom here as well. Let's take a look at a day chart off Twitter right now. The bottom right down here, $22. Up to 26 today. I think Twitter can easily get back to 30 at some point. So just because Facebook comes out and announces that, you could see easy move here in Twitter as well, based on that same sort of knowledge that more people are obviously using their platform. I mean, Facebook owns Instagram as well. We know about that, and WhatsApp. So there's lots and lots of runway here for Facebook. Probably one of the best beaten down tech stocks. Of course, everyone should be buying Google, but Facebook, one of the other ones that people should be snapping up.
All right, guys, let's go to energy stocks. A little bit of news on Occidental this morning. I mentioned crude oil down about 2%, also starting to bounce a little bit, just checked out. Yeah, Occidental came out this morning and said that in an effort to conserve cash during a tumbling period of oil prices, they were going to reduce salaries for staff across the board by 30%, including CEO Vicky Holub taking an 81% haircut on her paycheck this year. Nice little bump here for Oxy, guys. OXY up about 6.5%. As we said, crude to the downside today.
Yeah, that being said, it actually gave some back here in the pre-market. I mean, it actually came in about 50 pennies or so. And the volume actually is pretty decent with Oxy. You're not getting a gigantic rebound in oil, just looking at about $23 a barrel. And the price war is still a thing. Demand is still going to be an issue. So, it's going to be a little bit harder to be as bullish time-wise on some of these names in the short term, relative to Sean's mentioning, the tech space, which it's just a little bit easier to see the lines of recovery. But oil prices are still depressed for the time being. I mean, OPEC is standing firm. The Russians are standing firm with what they're trying to do here. And right now, unless we get above $30 a barrel, these are going to be tough names to be involved. However, nice bottom being made in Oxy. It's probably going to be a decent opportunity. It just might not happen too quickly.
So yeah, the real Occidental moving here, of course, because of Carl Icahn, big investor there. So if you did want to get involved with Uncle Carl there, he's in Oxy, so that might be something to look at for me, though. I mean, I don't see these names surviving. They're not in the right space. They're not, there's really no momentum behind them. They were $48 a couple months ago, about a month ago, and now we're talking about it at 13 with very little recovery here. I mean, it's $11 yesterday, up to 13 today. Could be a great opportunity, I think, to fade them with oil down 2%.
All right, guys, Apple was the decent one to trade yesterday. Deutsche Bank with the upgrade today on Apple, going from hold to buy, saying that the stock was too rich a couple weeks ago for them to like, but now back to a buy rating for Apple. We're up in the pre-market here, back above 250 once again for Apple shares. Sean, you had this one yesterday.
Yeah, and I'll be having it today again as well. Yeah, Apple was my #1 stock yesterday, guys, as everybody knows. And now look at this, 250 in change. I was lucky enough to get some of this in the 220s, which was lucky, but we'll see. It might be a good opportunity to sell some of this stock today. They did catch an upgrade from hold to buy, so I don't know. I mean, it's just going to move with the market. You see this nice little move here since the market's been moving 248 when we sort of sat down, and now you're bumping up to 251 and change. If you look at a daily chart, look, it follows the market, right? So if you want to trade some big boy opportunities, Apple's always going to be there, 50 million shares, something like that. All these wicks are incorrect, but you do see a nice little bottom here. I've always said that it had some kind of support in the 240 area, so it seems like that's right where we are again. It's going to have trouble getting back over 270 for sure. I don't see much green shoots here in the economy or for Apple, really, other than the fact that eventually they're going to announce all of their stores are back online in China, like Nike did, and you see what kind of a bump that got. So we're going to wait to see here. Apple just, lower highs coming through here. It should be good. I would look at a 250 break, but I already wrote down 252 as a break, so we're going to wait to see if that happens. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd almost look at the future sometimes, too. If you get a key level of breaking there, you can just sort of take longs in the names that you think are going to be strong, and Apple can go in there. I was looking at names like Microsoft and at times even a Zoom, and then catching key level breaks in the overall market, and then playing that directional play almost, as long as you had decent support or whatever it might be, or a good price to buy those individual names. So looking right here in the NQ 75, 80, which we just bounced shy of right now, and then ES about 24.50. We take that one out. Maybe we can recover some of those gains that we gave back overnight when that announcement the Prince caught COVID-19, which obviously is pretty serious, but that gave back 100 handles in the ES, and we're looking like we're trying to claw that back right now.
Okay, guys, let's go over to some virus-related names today. A bunch of them moving around in the pre-market as far as coronavirus stocks today. Nova Bay Pharmaceuticals, an interesting one, up on news that they will start to sell their KN95 air filter mask right on their website. So you can go to their website and order it. How it's going to be shipped to you, not clear, but we'll see. CTSO, an interesting one as well. Cytosorbent Corporation saying that the company's Cytosorb drug was added to a coronavirus treatment guidelines list in both Italy and Panama. So big pop here, 50% for CTSO, although obviously well off the highs here. We were above 9, now sitting just above $6.
Yeah, this one's already given so much back. I mean, you're kind of hoping for a pop back to the upside at this point. It goes to 960. You get a move all the way down to 6 even in the pre-market. Fantastic if you're a really, really early riser and had the guts to take a short in front of that 8 even area on the way back in. What I'd be looking at now is right here. Pivot point in the pre-market at 720. Maybe if we get a secondary move through that price, you can get another run to the upside. However, I always like to watch for a failure through a price like that. So, 930, we jump through 720 and then can't sustain the move up, maybe through that 750 mark and comes back in. That's when I'd be looking for that retracement short. We got locates on this one, so free to short means party open if you want to take this 1.2 million shares is decent. The volatility is going to be there.
Yeah, good volume. I see the futures now bouncing. I see some questions. Yeah, we're using the P8 software. So check it out, daytradetheworld.com. You can check it out there, but that's what we're using, prop trading. So we do not hold our shares overnight. We simply go and trade throughout the whole day. I'll probably make anywhere between 100 to 200 trades during the show in these 3 hours. So you'll see me, I'm writing down some notes right now, what to do. We have various charts open here. I look at about 7 or 8 different charts in four different stocks at once, looking for some opportunities. So I do see that question from Dory there.
Yeah, good question.
Great question, and I hope you like the show and follow us today. You'll see the trades. Neil's already in. I don't know, is that a buyout? I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but that stock.
A deal that got firm. It's a lot of these names that have been depressed. It was trading 30.70 yesterday. It's a all-cash deal at 32. So should be an active one today. Much like I'll probably be dipping into Tiffany as well. Like you got some dollar moves out of Tiffany, which is still trading at a big discount from that deal. 135 cash from LVMH, which they've reaffirmed they're going to be doing. So it's not to say you can pick it up and make that $10 right away. It's just a matter of finding some decent support levels and being able to catch some growth, because a 1% move here or there is going to be a nice return. We've done that a couple of days in a row now.
All right, guys, one more to add to the coronavirus list today. AYTU, a name that we've been talking about quite frequently, to the downside, even as they announced they've regained compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid requirements. So big move down for AYTU, but not related to any of the coronavirus news. Let's talk about Peloton here. Peloton announced this morning their largest investor, Wellington Management, sold over 4 million shares, worth about $100 million over the past couple of sessions, but still has about 5.9 million shares. So if we go over to PTON, you're going to see it basically flat. Not a lot of volume, but interesting story this morning.
8,000 shares.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's been making a bit of a run, Peloton, at least off the bottom, at 17, and then of course people picking up those bikes, and they did that deal where they're giving you like for 13 or so bucks a month. You don't have to buy the bike; you just get the live video support there. But it's coming back in just a little bit, and if you go back to the actual IPO open date, $28 was at top, and we turned around shy of that, and now basically trying to make a move back up. I think that's going to be a little bit of a resistance point that you can play with if it ever tries to get there again. We're about 10% away from that little move. You'll probably see me fade that level whichever day that does come. I'll be trying a short, but other than that, don't really have too much of a trade in Peloton. Flat on the session right now, basically less than 1% to the upside. A name that I know we wanted to talk about today, which is going to be in play, and it follows a theme that we've been looking at very heavily, which is companies that have been benefiting in their numbers by what's been going on, people staying at home, getting those staple goods, and Target had some massive numbers in at least some of their sales. Brendan, I know you wanted to talk about that name.
Yeah, there we go. Target, guys, another one withdrawing their guidance for 2020. Not a lot of volume either in the pre-market, but setting up with a decent little shelf here right at $100. So kind of just underneath right at $100 right now. Disregard all of this that happened in the pre-market or in the aftermarket yesterday, but big level in the afternoon yesterday for TGT was $100, guys.
Yeah, what's up, Kevin? I see you on there yesterday. Yeah, we're going to be hitting Facebook there. Look, guys, Peloton here. This is right near its IPO price. I mean, when we did IPO, we opened up down here $25, $26, got as high as 27. I think we actually IPO'd at 27, and then fell back down, and now we're right at that level again. So I think Peloton can get going if it gets above 28, but we do have to wait on that one. I think the fade trade is in on these Walmarts and these Targets, people selling the stronger names. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not really sure why.
That's what happened yesterday.
That's happening, and yeah, so Target today comes out with good numbers, and we know Walmart. Look, our Walmart near my place is packed. The grocery stores are absolutely packed. Target was in Canada, then pulled out because apparently the CEO is too scared of the Canadian economy, but whatever. So Target's not here anymore, but I mean, I think Target's a great shopping experience. They do have a lot of online presence as well. So as you look through Target, look, not much happening, only 33,000 shares, but yesterday into the close, you did have a nice little 101 at the top, but then look, faded down to 98 before coming all the way back and doing a nice big print somewhere around here, $100.50. So it actually looks like, I mean, despite those good reports, we're going to open lower than yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stay away because I don't understand it. Yesterday I lost a lot of money trading something. Oh, I didn't lose a lot, but Netflix yesterday should have gone up. It didn't, and I think that's just because people pulling money out of strong stocks.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience over in Walmart trying to pick a bottom, and the market started rallying, and it just wouldn't go. I mean, Target, I look at this 100 level, and there was another level I had at 102. And, much like Gilead yesterday, if it just decides to sell off this level, you'll probably see me use that as a resistance point. Then we snatch something on the way back up. I'm looking at the next level downside, both 96, which was that bottom yesterday, and that little flush we had right off of the open. So that'll be the plan with Target. Right as I say it, of course, on such light volume, you're seeing prints now $1 lower, but that's basically a few hundred shares. Just nothing happening right now in terms of volume-wise in Target, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I'm already locked and loaded here with Apple and Facebook, so we'll be looking at that. I did want to get to Square again. Square, I almost sold this one yesterday, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. I had an order out there for 48. I bought this thing at 34 a couple days ago, so up to $50 right now seems a lot. They did catch an upgrade, so I wanted to talk about that. My long was going to be through 49, but obviously that's broken. That was right here, yesterday's top, $49. We've already broken way through that, but it looks like, if I can hear in my ear, I'm not sure when we're ready for Valeria, but looks like we are. What's up, Valeria?
Thanks, John, and hello, everyone. I wish you a great trading day. And guys, I remind you, if you're passionate about trading, or you want to learn how to trade, or you're just bored and looking for a company, you're at the right place in the right time. We are relatively new on the YouTube, so please help us to spread information about our great show all over the world. Hit the thumbs up, share our video with friends, of course subscribe for our channel. I'll see you later. Back to the traders.
All right.
Thank you, Valeria. Yes, hit that like and subscribe. I want to talk about a name that we've been focusing on almost on a daily basis, Zoom. You go to the daily chart, you can see just the last few sessions how ridiculous it's been. It all started out at this 130 pivot point. You get a nice breakout through there. It was a previous high late in February, and then you get essentially what amounts to a $35 move up and down in 4 sessions, right? And now that we're within shooting distance of that 130 again, any dump, that's going to be an interesting point for me. If we can pick that one up, I did bottom pick this one on the way back up yesterday, and it wouldn't give me that follow through that I was looking for. And ultimately, you're seeing it try to hold this 142 yesterday with a couple of nice pops, ultimately flushing to the downside, and then you have this one sort of 35 level that we cratered to as well. So those 2 stops to the downside, I'm going to watch if we get down to those prices. And based on Zoom, that'll be an interesting opportunity for me to pick it up. We've seen some of the stronger names these last few weeks. They got sold off profit taking, and there's a logic to it. There's a logic to picking up some of those, picking up better value, selling some of the things that have made money during the downturn and picking up some better values in some depressed names. So I guess it kind of makes sense. So I'm not going to be surprised to see a dip in Zoom if there is one, and then have some places we like to pick them up. That's why I like that 130 area if we can base there, 135 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to look at Zoom breaking the top of 143. We'll see if that happens. Also, wouldn't be a show with me on it unless we talked about Microsoft. 150 here as a top. Look, it's got to get there first. It was a little weak the last couple days as well. Not as strong as an Apple or a Facebook. And yeah, it's great to have Lucas back today, and he'll be on the bell, looking sharp in his new hat. I don't know what hat that is, but Lucas is going to be ringing the bell today. One of our production team members, of course. Thank you to him for coming back today. All is well. I see a lot of you guys asking about Elizabeth. Obviously, she is well. I hope. I actually haven't spoken to her,
I see Elizabeth on the chat there,
and she's around.
I saw her on our spreadsheet that we're working through some of our names with, so I know still doing active work.
Elizabeth
there, doing a fantastic
is
job.
An intern, still in school,
yes.
So obviously it's very important that it's not that important that we stay healthy, I guess, but it's important that Liz stays healthy and gets going. A lot of education ahead of her.
Randy's got to stay healthy.
The painter's here as well today.
Painter's in the building.
He may take it over, but shout out to Randy as well. We're on a skeleton staff. I'd say 10 or so people plus. Maybe including the traders.
Yeah, just worth noting, with under a minute to go, guys, Tesla Big move to the upside. It's up 8%, but 540, which was a bit of a breakout. Look what happened here at just before 9 o'clock. You had a almost $15 move.
Guys.
It just bounced off that same price again. So file that one away. It looks like 540 could be a key area. It just had a $5 bounce in the pre-market a couple of times. It's been a good price level. We did just mention Lucas is going to be ringing the bell here. We've given you a list of names to watch. Should be an active day in the market. We're back to flat on the session on the ES, but ready to drop that countdown. We're looking at Facebook, Tesla, airlines are going to be active today as well.
Okay, here we go.
And
10 seconds only, guys.
Oh,
what am
here
I
we
doing?
go.
I got to get ready here.
We got to get ready.
Some Facebook. 5,
159
4,
Facebook.
3, 2, 1. Give that thing a spank, and here we go. Thank you, Lucas. Lucas is back in the building right now, so thank you for that. Okay, Facebook trading back down. My order was waiting for the top of 161. So we are going to have to wait for a break higher here in Facebook. The bottom 156.80 right now. I think I'll take a little stab at a quick long here on Facebook, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Just worth looking at a couple of other names too, guys. Boeing approaching the 20% mark and then falling back in. So watch on a retrace for 150. Big move up right into the open and now coming back about $5 or so. A couple of bucks away from that 150 mark. The bottom end of the range for me on Facebook, we were talking about this name very, very heavily. This is a pre-market low, 157, 156.80. So if we base off there, that could be an interesting place. If it holds that level, this is where you like to pick it up.
Yeah, Facebook, I was just looking at this Facebook trade right now. It's come back down. So we're out $1 right now, only half of a risk unit. So I think this is a good spot here. Pick some up using 155. What was yesterday's bottom? 155 or so. We're going to try to pick some up down here and see what we can do, guys. Apple taking off the top right now.
Yeah, so Facebook right there holds through yesterday's, pre-market bottom, guys. This is a pre-market low. Pick it up on the way back in. Already in the money, about 60, 70 cents. Looking to get 150. We're 156.87 long. Let's see if we can't pick over a buck out of that move. It's all about finding that pre-market low. We bounced off it rather nicely as the futures are back into slight negative territory.
Guys, big trade here. $2 winner right now on Apple. So floss that off right now. We're long 252. Who gave that to you in the pre-market, Kevin? There we go, guys. Ripping. $2.50 in the money. Almost $3. We're going to take some out. We're out of half. Look at Facebook.
There is the long. We talk about it on Facebook. We quickly identify on the dip. You get that pre-market low. That was the range we liked. It doesn't break the top off, but you can pick up that bottom of $1.50. Very quick move. Nice action already in these names.
All right, I'm already done, guys. So that's two big winners. $2 in the money on Apple right now. Huge win there. Huge win on Facebook as well. Yeah, what a great morning. I hope you guys had that with us. And already home run time, guys, as we go. We only have 20% of our Apple left, though, guys. Look at this. In at 252. Bang, 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 bang. All the way out. 255 was our best out there. So that was a great trade, I believe.
Very similar pattern just happened there in Nike. Falling off $4 off of the open. So far holding the pre-market bottom at 77.20. So if you can see that one base out, maybe worth a look. Who absolutely knows? It's not 100% here. It's not as strong a name for me on the buy side as Facebook certainly was. A couple of names turning negative to positive and teetering back and forth. Look at the relative strength in a Microsoft on that dip down. Holds almost $1 above its pre-market bottom and is now headed back to the north side. So you're seeing some relative strength, not catching that bottom there on Microsoft.
Come on, let's go, Facebook. We still got Facebook right now. $1 plus in the money, and there it is. Bang! We take out that $1. Look at this move on Facebook. We obviously had this move on Apple as well. So it's 2 for 2 for your boy. My wife, get the chicken ready and switch it over to filet mignon tonight because right now we are rocking and rolling. That's how you do it live on the show. Cowbells everywhere. Instant winners right to start the day.
Let's worth looking at a Netflix too. I mean, a lot of these stocks, same little pullback in there. I just picked up some softy. We got that one at 149 on that little break. Actually slipped to 11s. If we can get up to that 150 mark, should be a nice scalp. But look at these moves. Downside, holding pre-market lows on the stronger names. Netflix about to test that top 362.50. Let's watch that breakout. Could come any second now.
And your boy has another one. There's Zoom taking it through 143. Thank you, Randy. We're going to get out of here. We can now afford more and more coffees as Apple right now, $2.50 in the money. Bullish, baby. Zoom, Neil. $1.50, $1.80 in the money. Already giving you guys multiple dollar winners. We're long Zoom 143.20. How about those apples, guys? Let's go.
Here comes a 540 level. We talked about this right before the open on Tesla, and it looks like it's just taking it off again. I'll pick some shares up in front of this little 540. You talk about these recovery names here. We do still have that Microsoft long. If we can take this Tesla trade and it holds that 540 pivot area, you could need a nice little move up to that 550 mark. It's already looking like it wants to go upside. I want to be digging into this softie. If we can hold this 2450 that we just took out on the ES and hold positive territory, I mean, some of these moves could be fantastic. It would be nice to get a couple of green days in a row, not this yo-yo action.
Hells yeah, and we are just continuing to just crush some of these names here today. I hope you guys have these with us. Zoom we're long 143.20 right now and cash them out 145. We're also long Apple at the bottom here, 252 on Apple. That's a quick $2 and X winner right now, $2.35. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Join us on the chat. I see some people talking about it. Modern investors. Yeah, there's a boom for you modern investors. Let's get going, guys. Watch out though. This could fade at any time, but take out your profits, guys, for sure.
Yeah, and you talk about fading there, but the futures don't seem... Went to put a keystroke error. We end up taking out Tesla at 45. Unbelievable. That's an annoying little action there. Thankfully, we still hang on to our Microsoft because what did we just do to the upside here? We just took out 2460 on the ES. We're continuing to move long. I think it's time to reload in Microsoft. We still are basically still sitting here at that 149 mark. So if we're going to make a run to this 150, why not fade into it if we can get something maybe a little closer to 148, 70, 80s or so. But now we are popping.
Yeah, oh yeah, we are popping, guys, and popping to say the least is our Apple trade. As there you go, it's doing all new day highs now. This is a $3 winner. What's up, Brandon?
I'm back, guys. We were talking about this one a little bit yesterday. Huge move to the upside yesterday. It was halted a number of times in the afternoon as well. Just broke $3 there on decent volume. If it can hold $3, maybe get another move for IMAC, guys.
Yep. IMAC. We talked about Target here and some of these names getting sold off. So as you get this bump up, once again, you're seeing just relative weakness in a Target. This is very similar to what happened in a Walmart yesterday. It's going to be really difficult to try to pick bottoms on a name like that when you're seeing so much strength in some of that tech space. We'll jump back over to Facebook. We were very quickly catching the bottom, and Facebook now about to take off that same top that we're looking at. We're basically right there. This 160.75 is going to be that pre-market level. It's about to take it out to the upside. We're approaching 2,500, looking like we're trying to make a run here in the futures. Finally, we get the strong day. Microsoft in the money here, working on that 150. We got a 149.11 long.
Yeah, not bad at all, but you want to see some big-time winners, guys. Unfortunately, my Facebook did come out. It shouldn't have took $1 on that one, but here's Apple, $5 winner right now for Apple, so catapult that. Zoom is a $4 winner right now. Those are the two positions. We have a $5 winner and a $4 winner on for you right now, and you're welcome. That's why you guys joined the show, obviously. Look at this. We also take Facebook long again, guys. Let's go. Let's keep going.
And Facebook fading right back in. So even if you miss the punch, it actually gives you an opportunity on that little pullback to get back in at about 160, 115. There goes Microsoft as well to the upside. It's again holding that 149. I want to be adding to that one if I can. It's just not giving me that opportunity at either breaking through 150 or maybe getting any kind of a significant little pullback. I think on Facebook, I'm adding this one in front of 160 as well, guys. So 161 long, 149.11 long. Both those I do like to the upside. We didn't talk about any of the airlines. They're actually right now getting back some of their gains with a massive dip on a lot of them right off of the open. They're bouncing right back to those levels, so the entire market getting dragged up with a few exceptions here and there. We mentioned Target.
Yeah, Target's a good one, that is for sure. But we continue to make this money here, going long some of these names. We got to watch out for Facebook here. It's starting to get a little bit exciting to the long side. Here we go. Let's go, guys. We're long Facebook 161 here. The day just keeps getting bigger and better. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Softy's huge.
Softy's right here at that 150.
Winner on Apple, guys.
1, 2, 3 times we've now tested 150 on Microsoft. This one about to break. It does look like it's trying to take this little top off. For me, what that means you can do is take the profit out if it fails it, and then breakout trade. Just take it again if it breaks the level 150 long.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, we're waiting for that 150 as well. Like I said, it's already been a monster today, so thank you for joining us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every day, maybe not tomorrow, but more news on that soon. What's up, Brendan?
Happiness Biotech, guys, nice pop in the pre-market, or right at the open anyways. We're up 55% on HAPP, another one developing a coronavirus vaccine, guys.
As he eats a banana, Randy's
he-
saying the market going bananas. He's absolutely
Guys,
right.
we have
There's
Apple on, Facebook
through
on, Microsoft on, Zoom on.
162.20. That 161 break, absolutely fantastic. It's the second time we're long. We've already ripped $1.50 off on Facebook. We're back in the money, about $1.20 on this one. And for me, it's Scalp City. I talk about that 2,500 level. If that breaks, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to grab long. So
Yeah,
you
buddy.
get $1.50, you get $1. You can always jump back into this one as well. Softy, we'll see if we can't take some profit
get
on that
$5.
150 break. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Lots of room into the upside. Only really traded 3 names today so far.
Yeah.
Tesla, Microsoft, and Facebook to the long side. Haven't even touched Nike or any of the other target that we've talked about.
Yeah, exactly the same thing for me here today, but look at these winners, guys. This is a $6 winner right here on Apple. 152, pick that right away, bang, up in the money, $6. Look at the Facebook trade, it's trying to work itself out, bang, bang, bang. We picked up this long at 157, so that's $5 if you still have that one. Our Microsoft trade, taking that long through 150, still have this one. That's $1 in the money. And our Zoom's not really moving too much. That was all the way up to 147. I'm going to drop this one if it breaks through 142. But right now, man, to the moon on everything. Let's go.
I haven't shorted anything, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to jump into some Twitter short here. It's not participating as strongly. We're basically flat on the day. We mentioned that off the top of the show. It's 26.20, makes a high. It retests that high in this move. We're approaching 2,500. If you get a fade in, you want to have some opportunities to make some profit here. So 26.20 is going to be my out. We'll work a short in front of that. Tight stopped in case we turn around. Massive move to the upside. You want to have any kind of a retracement trade if you can. So Twitter is my pick.
Yeah, Twitter. I love Twitter. I love everything today. This has just been such a fantastic day as we go. Microsoft, multiple dollars here. Check the stats below, guys. You're going to see all of the profits that Neil and I are taking off, and it's been a monstrous day, to say the least. But I just hit this, so I can't throw it to Brendan yet. But now I can. What's up, Brendan?
Cruise lines, guys, moving higher. Norwegian leading the group here, 30% to the upside. This thing just halted. This is an additional information halt, so not volatility. Additional information halt for NCLH, guys.
Okay, that's Norwegian, of course, so very, very good look there. I'm actually going to take off this other Microsoft trade, so the second long and softy in front of that 151 will lock in 80 cents because we're starting to roll back over a little bit.
Yeah.
This is why you test that level. We talked about 2,500. You look at the futures there and you say, okay, if we're going to turn around, the NQ, you fail well high of those tops. Don't even get to 7,700. So I jumped into a short, took off some of those long positions, looked to reassess these trades, but we did get into and want to add to this potential position we have in Twitter. It did just dip down to 25.85, but guess what's happening? The market is holding up at this 24.80 on the ES, so we might make another run at that 2,500 after all.
Yeah, and we probably a mistake, but we're going to wait to see here. We did drop some Apple there for a ho-hum. $4 winner, so hit the air horn on that one for sure. A nice little $4 winner there. We have so many trades that could be the trade of the day. That'll be coming up at 11 o'clock. No guests today unless we maybe could sneak a rune in. We'll talk about that in a minute on there. But God, look on AMD. Yeah, we will look at AMD. But so far today, it's just been a destruction. Check out this Apple log 252. Bang, that was a monster move here. Microsoft 150 long. Bang, that was a dollar move right there. Facebook, 157.50 long. Bang, that was $5 winner. And back to Apple. We're going to wait to see if this one can fade down. Check out the ES right now. Coming back in a little bit, Neil. We didn't get to 2,500. That was this high here. If we retest it, great. Oh, another trade that we have that I forgot to mention. Zoom. So we've taken multiple dollars on that one, and we continue to hold this 143 long. If we can get back to 147, then yeah, I'll probably take the $5.
Yeah, strong, strong, strong in AMD, up now 3%. It was flat the last time I had checked it. You get the same dip on all of these stocks. You give me that opportunity to go long. It wasn't top of my radar. The only position I have on, and we'll just jump right to it instead of showing you the position board, it was that fade that we just took in Twitter. We caught that one on the way back in through 26, failing to get through its pre-market high. It gets to about 26.12. On the way back, we catch this one at 25.98. It's already headed down to 82. So we've taken the first leg off. We'll take some more out here in the 70s. 20s if we can, and there we go. Just a nice little move through 75. So we'll see if we can't get a few more shares out. Right here at VWAP doesn't really matter. Hanging on to a third. If we can test this pre-market low here on this retrace 25.50, you'll catch maybe 40 cents on the last little bit of this. I wanted to have something to the short side in case we rejected the run to 2,500. Brendan, what do you got?
Guys, Ford having another nice day to the upside, about 13%. Bit of a pullback here to 550. We mentioned the news yesterday. They were teaming up with 3M and GE to work on ventilators and respirators and speed up that production in the U.S. So Ford to the upside again, guys.
Okay, we still got, Microsoft, okay, 150. I don't know what's going on with Microsoft right now. Something nuts is happening right now. Microsoft just tanked down about $1. Well, I guess the futures are moving down a little bit here. I must have put the wrong. I meant to get out at 140.50.
Oh, Nike.
I took some more. Yeah, everything fading back down a little bit, guys. Watch Zoom here on the upside.
Wow, Nike takes that pre-market bottom and no chance to get in this one. It basically goes through 77.25 and just instantly through the even dollar as well. It got down over $1 off that move. So Nike getting absolutely crushed. It's still up 6%, obviously, because it had the nice little bump that Brendan mentioned, but getting smoked. We're down $5 from the top here on Nike. You could have faded this one, but it was a difficult trade to get into, especially with that upswing. Those longs were so good. If I jumped to this instead of Twitter, wow, that's a 79.50 short you would have had.
Yeah, that would have been huge.
Twitter was the wrong call.
For sure. Yeah, so I made a keystroke error there on Microsoft. I meant to put in a sell order through 150.50, but we did get long, so that's why you see me stuck there. So we're going to get out a little bit there for a little bit of a loser on a keystroke there on Microsoft. Sorry about that one. But Zoom right now coming to the top side here, 145, 146. Maybe it just touched 145.50. We'll wait to see. I'm going to just park an order around this 147 area, see if we can't get out of the rest of our Zoom. We only have 20% left, sorry, 25% left. Out here for $1. That's $1.50, $1.50, $2. So we're going to wait to see if we can't capture a little bit more. We're in the money now, $1.50 on Zoom, but we're looking for a bit more. 47 would be nice.
Yeah, the only thing we got on right now, we still have that Twitter short 25.98. That's sitting there at 25.74. Looking to see if we can make a push down to 50s if we continue to fade in. Starbucks, a name that I don't think we mentioned off the bat, but it's something that we've traded and talked about at least a few sessions in a row here. It has a lot of strength and buying around that 66 even area, not even getting halfway back to that price. So looking strong on this little pullback. I do like this one in front of 66. If we get a further dip off that little 2,500 failure that we just saw in the ES, we are up 1% overall, so you're getting some decent gains so far being held. I want to jump to Roku. This one is basing out. There was not the pre-market bottom, but there was a level here of buying on low volume at 94.50, 95 or so on Roku. We're about to bounce back through that price. Nothing terribly significant. Oh, sorry, don't want to look at that. Look at yesterday's session. Nothing too significant around that price level, but it was very strong through this same 95 area. So for me, you can take a shot here maybe through this actual low, but I got to have a very tight stop through $94 if you want to pick this one up because it just got sold off and hasn't really given you too much of a bounce. So very, very tight stop trade here coming up in Roku.
Okay, yeah, good job. And that's why sometimes you got to think about, we always go into trades looking at our exits, right? So you got to be careful with that and have some targets here. Right now, Zoom is heading up to 147 right now. So this stock taking its move to the back to the top side here. I'm probably going to hold this. I have an order up at 150 on Zoom. I don't know. We haven't been to 150 in a while, but I do think we have a chance to get there. So we're going to wait to see here. Zoom, we're laughing right now at a $3 winner. So let's see if we can't rain down a little bit more. We are long Zoom. My only position right now, 143.20 off of this break. I gave that to you guys early. Thanks for joining us live on the show. I talked about going long. I know Neil was waiting for a 130, but obviously it didn't want to go there. So right now, hopefully it comes to the upside here. We are not going to let this go into a loser. So right now, a nice little $4 winner on Zoom.
Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
A little penny stock, guys. Big volume spike here. TTNP up 28%. Not seeing news on it yet. Just took 30 cents there, but huge volume coming in, moving higher in a hurry, guys.
It is apparently possible to lose on a day like today. We did try that tight stop trade on Roku. We picked it up in front of that 94. It just immediately takes it out. If that's going to lose and we're going to come back in, that probably means, like I just saw pop off there, that 25.50 target, and we're going to catch that basically to the dot there. So we take this on a retrace of 26. Very simple trade. Zoom. Market comes up, it turns around, finds something that's rejecting shy of its high. We catch Twitter at 26 on the way back in. We just took the last bid off here in front of that pre-market low, 25.55. So nice little win on Twitter if you're watching that one. Basically flat right now, looking for the next shoe to drop. But I do want to jump back into looking at a name like a Zoom, which is approaching a 150. Interestingly enough, if we're the dip that we just saw coming back in, Zoom didn't really participate in it if you want to look at it. So Zoom showing a lot of relative strength.
Yeah, guys, and that's exactly why right now I have a $5 winner on. We're long Zoom 143 right now. We're just going to wait to see. This just keeps going. If it cracks that, obviously I was going to cancel these orders. If it cracks that 148, you could go straight to 150. And we do have that $5 winner long 143. What's up, Brandon?
Another one with a monster move today, guys. ASTC 290% here. This thing was $1 yesterday. Just broke $4 to the upside on huge volume. They are developing some screening instruments for lung diseases, including COVID-19. Guys.
So Tesla turned around here at 557 or so, comes all the way back down to 530. So all of that strength coming back in a little bit more heavily than some of the other names that I'm looking at here. I do think if we're not going to get past 2,500, maybe there's an opportunity to be fading some moves here in Tesla, especially around that 550 mark. So let's see what happens as the market's going to make hopefully try and make a little bit of a bounce here to give you an opportunity to like some shorts better. It's going to be difficult to be in love with shorts at some of the prices that I'm looking at, but Facebook is a name that we did want to be playing in, and remember that 156 level. This is why we got into a long the first time. We're staring that one in the face again. If it's going to base out here one more time, you take it in front of this low, which we're going to do, and then try it much like we just did in Roku. We'll take this one long if we can through this 157. This is where we got it last time. You want to work this one off of the low of the day. It shows you that bounce a little bit higher than that initial flush down to 156.33. This time 156.40 or so, but already looking like it wants to make a play to the upside. I'd like again to try to take a buck 50 on this little play, bouncing off the bottom here. The future's not making highs, not only coming halfway back, not even halfway back, and Facebook giving it all back. You don't want to dig in too deep, and you want to make sure you have your stop nice and tight.
Yep, exactly. I haven't looked at Tesla yet. I'm still watching this Zoom. I put an order at 145. So if it does break that, we'll give that up and take $3 or $2.50 or so on it. But right now, we're still long and looking. So, okay, another trade that I'm looking for right now is Microsoft. I thought if we broke down below sort of this area here, 148.80 or so, we might have a short. But no, it bounces right off there. Should have been looking long at that time. But here it comes straight back to the upside here. Microsoft looking at that one. I'm still waiting for it to break 150, so I'd rather it go to the high of the day here before we start looking at that again. But our Apple trade, that's by far my number one stock. Unfortunately, I did have that keystroke there on Microsoft that gave back some profits. But if we break through here, 253 now on Apple, that could be a little look here. You see some consolidation. Maybe I can zoom this in just a little bit here. It's bounced off this view up a couple times. 253.25 might be a decent look here on Apple, guys.
Yeah, watch out for this little rollover. We barely even bounce on Facebook. We only get about 50 cents, and the future's continuing to come to those lows. So this is one of those places where I'm not going to be adding to this position. If we're coming back in, my stop is set at the low of the day, and I'm looking for an opportunity to maybe fade something to the short side. Where might you do something like that? I don't know. You could always jump into Macy's breaking the bottom. That could be interesting.
Macy's
so look at a 570 bottom. Again, it's not picking on the retailer. It is picking on the retailer. So looking at a Macy's 570 bottom, if this gets taken out, we just took 24.50 on the ES again. So that's a bit of a key level. I'll have my stop locked and loaded, ready to go to short the low of the day on Macy's. Brendan, what do you got?
The car rental name, guys, showing some weakness as well. Hertz Global here, the first one to kind of go red in a hurry here, 9.5% to the downside after we were briefly positive there. Just broke $8 on huge volume for HTZ, guys.
All right, we're looking here.
Yeah, and there goes Facebook through that low of the day. So it punches through, and we get taken out, unfortunately. So there's our stop. We did talk about getting into a Macy's on this type of a move. We did just go ahead and do that. Only got a partial fill because it doesn't like me. So we'll see if we can't get more shares on a 570 break. I got 568 half on that. We'll see if we can add to this one on Macy's. Want a few more shares.
And there we go. We take that out for a $2.80 winner there. So hit the cowbell. I'm not going to hold Zoom anymore. We tried to let it go through 148. It resisted a couple times. Now on the break back down through 146. We take our 143 out, and we actually get a decent price there, 145.80. So we'll take that one when the spread could be 30, 40 pennies. So once again, just another winner there, keeping our day legit right now. Everything's been a winner so far. Zoom, Microsoft, Facebook, and Apple. Apple for me right now. None of these.
Whoa, Twitter getting absolutely crushed there. Twitter goes through 25.50 heavily, now approaching 25 even. We're now into that Macy's short. 67.5 is going to be our price. We pay a little bit extra to get a few more shares. Watch out for this 25 bottom. This is going to be a key level here, and we're breaking and giving almost everything back. We're very, very close to negative territory again on the ES. Not a good sign. I've picked a retailer to go short. It's the second short we've had. Of course, Twitter was a good one. Now we're working into that short in Macy's, and Tesla as well falling, approaching $515 here. Pre-market low there was about $510. So right now it's Macy's on the move to the downside. That's already in the money, 10 cents or so on this $5 name. So you pick on a beaten up name to the short side. You got to find something when it rolls over. It's sort of the go-to play has been shorting retail lately when you get that opportunity. Macy's now firmly negative as we take our profits off there. We'll go with a floss action, still holding about 80% of the position. Want to dig into this one in front of the 580 maybe is our out. Here we go, south side. Market giving it back, guys.
Yep, we got Apple short here, 250.60. So that's right away goes bang. Nice little 40-cent winner right there off the top. So we're going to hold Apple, see if we can't get that going now. That's 40 cents in the money. We also did take our softy short right now, and we're short 148.70 on this drop down here. Hopefully it continues. I don't know if it's going to, but right now we do have Uber to the short side at 26. That's a nice little 10-cent winner right now. Want more on that. Uber, Microsoft, and Apple all short. I'll run the positions by you when you come back from Brendan.
A lot of those home food delivery services guys also in negative territory. WTRH 21% to the downside, just broke $1.10 there. Huge volume spike came in, so we're back to $1. This thing got to above $5, I think it was last week, but on the way down, guys.
All right.
Yep, arrows down there. We just approached 550 on Macy's, so we just took shares out there at 557, at 554, some at 551, looking for a break of this 550 area. We're short still at 67. There it goes. Macy's to the downside. Market fading off. You had to reverse. We talked about the reversal there on the futures at 2,500. So this is what it's all about. You make it on the way up. You make it on the way down. It doesn't really matter. Find those relatively weak names or find anything because the market's giving everything back. 0.5% now down on the ES. We just took some shares out of Macy's there at 544, so another nice win.
Guys, I gave you all of these levels, and here we go. Apple, Facebook, well, not Facebook, it's Uber right now, so this is what we're doing. Microsoft's 50 cents in the money. Apple, 30 cents in the money. Uber, 30 cents in the money on all these shorts. So I flipped from long to short real quick there, and now we make all this money on the short. So, yeah. For me, it's been cowbell central today as we just keep going. Apple, though, making a little move back up here on this retrace. So maybe we'll have to average in a little bit on this one. Still 30 cents in the money here on Microsoft.
Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Ireland struggling, guys, today.
Look at Uber.
Already back here taking the territory here.
Bang.
Yeah. One name that's actually holding the bottom, at least for the time being, Twitter, coming back through 25. So it's already made a bit of a bounce here. Worth noting, let's have a track at that one. I only had that Macy's position. We're still hanging on to that one. It broke 550, but is also coming back up here. So if we are going to retrace to the long side, you do know the names that we like long. We did talk about those already. One of those kind of like here is the Starbucks, and we mentioned this one. The pre-market top could get taken out again. I'm looking at 66 even. It just bounced. It didn't even touch the lows on Starbucks, which you gotta like here. So if the market bounces 66 long, I'm looking at you right here. That's a pre-market high.
Yeah, love Starbucks to the long side, and we hail that Uber ride. And why do we do that? Because ho-hum, we go short there. We capture a nice little 40-cent winner. So hey, Uber, come pick me up because right now we just cashed in on Uber. Once again, guys, it just keeps getting bigger and better today on the show. We take those shorts and able to hit this. We still are short 20. We're small now, but 26 right here short Uber. That's a nice one in the money for us. We got out of our Apple. That one just continued to rip higher. So cash out a little bit there, then get out the rest. So Apple to the upside here. Microsoft, we're going to dump it. That's still in the money on the short. So Apple, obviously huge, strong. Glad to see that move happening. Now I know which one to go long for sure.
Yeah, we just picked up those shares that we just mentioned over there in Starbucks here. You see it break that 66 area. We did get 06. We got slipped to. We tried to pick some more up on the way up. Maybe we'll add a few more shares in the teens if we can. The market makes a base here, makes another nice little run. Fantastic. What I love about this trade is it puts in this bottom at 65, which is shy of the pre-market prices, showing a little bit of relative strength on that move back in. And of course, it got as high as 68.40. So there is plenty of upside in the Starbucks trade as well.
Yeah, time to fade everything here. Yeah, you'll probably get a couple dollars on Starbucks, hopefully, if we can hold that one. Uber, we're taking some more shares short right now. We just hit that short at 44, so we're going to try to do that as well. Look, we just go short 44. It goes right away, guys, down to 24. So nice little trade there as the futures now coming back in more and more and more. We just get out of some Apple there. We hold that, take that out. Now we still have 25 cents here on Softy. I'm going to cancel that so we don't have to worry about getting out. And then here's back Uber. We just took that short, guys. Look at this short, 44. We just took it right down to 30. So let's keep going as the market fading back in here.
Yeah, absolutely fading. And watch out for that 65 on Starbucks, but also watch out for the banks here. JP Morgan barely bounced off the bottom, looking very, very weak. We're back below 7,500 on the NASDAQ, and the ES approaching that 2,400 mark. So you talk about giving it all back. It is all about those shorts. Still hanging on to a bit of Macy's here. I do think we can hit a home run on that trade, but I got to watch out. The reason we take the long on Starbucks was that 65 level. 65 goes. It's called to stop for a reason, guys. You got to use it when it comes in.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been using all of our stops. But right now, 70-cent winner right now on Microsoft. So wake up, guys. 148.70 is where we're short. Look at this call. Look at these longs. Bang, 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 bang. That's a mistake. We talked about that. Here's the short, 148.80. Microsoft right now, $1.10 in the money. There may not be hockey, but we are getting hat tricks all over the place. Yeah. We don't want to leave Brendan hanging. All right, let's throw it over. We'll pass on this dollar winner. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at some markets, see how things are shaping up after the first 30 minutes of the day. S&P 500 back in negative territory, mentioned about 0.5% to the downside. The Dow still leading about 0.4% to the upside, so some strength coming from the Dow 30. Tech stocks also negative here, 0.8% to the downside for the NASDAQ. Small caps are doing well today, 1.8%. A lot of them still kind of fading back with the market, 1.8% for the Russell. Here in Toronto, TSX about flat, BOVESPA down in Brazil. To the upside finally, 2 days in a row to the upside for the BOVESPA. It's been having a really tough time over the past couple of weeks. As far as individual movers here in Toronto, Air Canada 2 days in a row to the upside, although just broke that bottom. Was kind of watching the $16 level for AC. Long way to go all the way back to 15 here. If you're looking for something showing a little weakness, gapped higher this morning, but also moving to the downside. Some of the cannabis names showing some weakness as well. Weed here all the way back to yesterday's levels, back below that $19 area after a decent gap to the upside this morning. And also OGC. Gold stocks, mining shares all in positive territory. This was among the biggest gainers today, 125 up to 150 for OGC. Tons of volume on this one as well. If you're looking for strength, gold and mining stocks here for the TSX, guys. Back over to you.
All right, well, hail another Uber ride because that just keeps coming down to the downside. Look at this last short we gave you guys, right ahead of 26.50, and bang, 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 all the way down. Uber short, bang. Uber, look at it. We just took it out right there. We still have some on board, guys, but this is a 50-cent winner on this $20 name, so nice little win there. And yeah, if 50 cents isn't enough for you, I don't blame you. It's probably not enough for many, but here's Microsoft, $1.50 in the money. So arrows down right now in this market. Not sure where we'll take this Microsoft off. I've been looking at that. The market battling back. We'll probably give it to about 148 even maybe.
Yeah, so we talked about that failure to get to that 2,500, that turnaround at 2,480. We're basing around on the ES there, and that's the S&P 500 futures at 2,420. Seeing if we can make a bottom here, looking at Royal Caribbean, that came all the way back, $7 move, and now it looks like it's trying to hold the bottom as well. But look at the ridiculous weakness that you see in this little pullback. That's a very shallow pullback on a move like that. If we can't get through, watch out for this 35 bottom on Royal. That's what we'll be looking at. I want to jump back into Macy's because that's the position we have on. I was looking for an opportunity to reload, did not get it in front of that 580. It's now retesting the bottom, so we're still short at 567. We're anticipating that we can take out this low, especially that we didn't get a retracement back into that 575.80 area. Here we go. We're about 25 in the money at a $5 name. I like to see if we can't get down towards, and again, I'm going to show you a higher time frame here. We've already broken yesterday's sort of flush. Watch this next level at about 530. That's my next target on Macy's.
Yeah, you don't have to watch any levels if you've got my trades on here, because this is $3 now. Microsoft heading to the southbound. And look, I mean, obviously we get out there for $1, but I mean, I had no idea this was going to happen. Look at the futures cracking back down. That 2400 could come into play. So right now, this is what we're sitting on. We'll throw it up for you guys here. I hold my trades a little bit longer today just because of what's been happening. Obviously, we're expecting a big move in the market. So here's Microsoft. Right now, this is a $2.50 winner, and Uber's an 80-cent winner right now. But we have light on both of them because we did cash out. But right here, Microsoft just keeps on tanking. I'm going to put a stop order. We're short 148.70, so maybe 147 we'll get out of Microsoft if it does come back up. Otherwise, man, let's let this thing just keep on tanking. Oh, and I did talk to you guys about Microsoft earlier on. If we can rewind it about 9:15 or so, I said Microsoft has been relatively weak the last couple days. Cha-ching! There you go. Hopefully you guys heard that and were able to cash in, because Microsoft right now, $2.50 now in the money. Keep going down, baby.
Watching Walmart, you talk about keep going down 5% now on the session. We did mention the sell-off. You know, I took my shot at Macy's and Twitter. You could have done the same thing at the same time in a Walmart and get about the same type of a return, but it's just broken through that 110 area. Look, if we take out 2400, which is, it seems rather unlikely that you won't get some kind of consolidation there, but that would be interesting if we're still hovering below this 110 on Walmart. That could be a further short. Profit taking galore in some of those stronger names, and you want to add that to the list. Target is another one. We talked about some downward levels on that one. We're looking at 2780. That's well gone as well. But let's go back, look at that higher time frame. If you go back through it the entire week, you're looking for a pullback in this 24 area. If it can hold below that, it's going to continue to be a short. If the market rebounds, that's where I want to grab along a retracement. So pivot area and target. My stop order is going to be locked and loaded, ready to go on this name.
54. Yeah, I was just looking. I was going to try to get out of some of my square. Wow. Okay. Uber now $1 in the money. Holy crap. I'm going to tweet some of these out, guys. We hit that Uber short. Bang, 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 bang. Now look at Uber. It's continuing to fall. This is $1.10 now in the money. We are short Uber 26.44. Did any of you guys have any of these trades on that we do here? $2, $3 in the money on Softy. Put it in the chat, guys. We're short Microsoft 148.70. It's at 145.70. You can see that right here on the screen. And our Uber is $1 in the money. I hope you guys had some of these on, because this has been quite the drop and quite the day for us here, guys.
Yeah, JP Morgan, you talk about the weakness. 85 even we're looking at, and we're trying to base out here. I do have that stop ready to go. A turnaround long position that we just mentioned in Target for the banks. If you're frisky enough, you're probably looking at a retake of 86, that pre-market low. I don't know if that's the best place to necessarily get involved. I'm going to adjust my Macy's trade to throw a trailing stop in now at this 550 level. We want to make sure we lock in profit. It couldn't quite get to that 530. We did talk about why that was the next stop in, and that's why we're going to bounce off of it and then put a trailing stop. You don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. Brendan, what do you got for us?
I mentioned some of the drug makers, guys, moving back to the downside. Mallinckrodt here, one of those now down 12%. Couldn't get above $2 there at the open. We're all the way back to 175 on decent volume for MNK, guys.
All right, Mallinckrodt. Yeah, I'm just looking to see some of my stocks here. I'm going to try to sell some of these in my own account. Okay, Microsoft comes back down. We get out at 146.50 for a $2 and change winner, $2.20 winner right there. Explode the money as we go. Market starting to head a little bit now back into northbound. We bounced off 2400 almost exactly there, so no surprise. Our Uber trade is still 90 cents in the money. We're going to give it to this wick here, 25.70, which may come right now, and we'll ho-hum cash in that 80 cents on Uber, guys.
Yeah, it's looking like, to me, I mean, we're getting a bit of a base off 2400, at least shy of that. I almost want to fade into this target trade, to be perfectly honest with you. You do have this nice little low at 92. There is a breakout potential through 94, but if it's going to give you such a decent opportunity right in the middle, I might jump into this one a little bit early. It's sold very, very heavily here, and it has been a relatively strong name. So there could be some, some, I don't know what to call it, value investing, bottom picking, whichever one is your preference. We'll pick some up here at 93. I still do like it for a break at hit 94. We'll just adjust our stop to go long for fewer shares as we're now picking up in front of that 92 low. So we're long ever in target. We still have that short in Macy's with a trail to 550. That's 567 to the short side. So we're going to go both ways here, but if the market bounces, you'll see me come out for profit on Macy's and then get more long in this target position.
All right, yeah, and I just put some order to get out of my square there. I'm long, I mean, here's square, we'll talk about this. I was long 34 in my own account. I can't let this one go today. It was all the way up to $54, so I do like square for a long-term investment, but this is quite the return in just a couple of days. $52 down here. We could break higher there if that does come through, so we're going to wait to get square $52. I do have this Uber trade. This is still $1 in the money, well, 80 cents in the money right now. Now almost $1 in the money. We do have this big buyer down here at 56, so we're going to look at that. But man, I just wish I didn't make that keystroke error on Microsoft earlier right here where we bought it, up here where we bought it instead of sold it. But right now, the market looks like it might be fading back in. Not a horrible time to maybe look back at Apple as it's been strong. So I do want to try to pick up some of these tops or these bottoms. Oh my God, we did short that 250 before having to get out here. Wow, what a squeeze all the way down. Let's pick up some Apple here, guys.
Yeah, Apple, good look. Twitter, which it held that 25. It tried to do so very, very well. It's now bouncing back below you. Get at this bottom end range here. It's a tricky area. Like ultimately, if futures hold, you're going to see some rebound in some of these names. I've already picked Target as the upside play for me here, but Twitter wouldn't be a bad idea to jump into the same thing. I am watching this 25-30 level very, very close, 25 to 30 level as well, very, very closely, because if the futures start to roll over halfway back to that 2,500, I think it's going to be a short on Twitter through that price. So for me, not going to jump into the long bottom here in Twitter, looking for a pullback short. Twitter down 4% on the day, and we talked about how it's been, having some trouble getting to the upside. Twitter after yesterday was a tricky trade trying to buy that one.
Yeah, we're trying to see if Apple wants to go higher there. We just did have 70 cents in the money, but we didn't take it there. We bought and picked this 247.60. So actually that's right where we're long right now, and that's right where the price is. So we're going to see if we can't pick up some a little bit lower and then use the out here of 247-ish in change. But right now we are long Apple once again. So I do see that from Monde there about Nike. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. Obviously, that name continues to be strong. We talked about that, and there we go. Apple just comes right back down. We did talk about that name there in the pre-market, Nike. We will have a look at that, but here comes Apple, guys, straight to the downside. It's been. Look. I've already, you can see the profits at the bottom today. We're already destroying this, taking multiple dollars out of multiple symbols here today. This is just fading back down. I don't want to lose too much. I'm going to try to pick a bottom here in Apple for you guys. I just tried to defend that 247. As soon as it broke, we got out. So sometimes you got to put those stops in like Neil talked about because you don't want to hold for too much longer. Look, I'm only wrong and I lose 30 cents. And look where it is now. It would be $1.50 against me if I still held it.
Yeah, so you're looking at some of the same patterns in all these names. Is we're basically, holding 10 handles above 2,400 right now, and you look at an Intel here, basically bracing itself on that low. We picked this target, and that might go very, very quickly. You need to have some shorts on. Thankfully, we still have this Macy's position sort of offsetting, the long on target, which could stop out. Macy's we're going to hang on to. Intel about to take the bottom. And if 2,400 goes here on the ES, you really got to watch out. But Brennan is locked and loaded, ready to go for some upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll review a couple of things here. I want to show you a few things that are moving in the right direction. Finally, it's been a while. TJ Maxx and Square here, both with really nice days, catching an upgrade here. Square up 10% on the day. TJ Maxx about 6%. Wayfair as well, up about 5%. We were looking at that one a little bit yesterday, but an upgrade today. McDonald's not so much, getting an upgrade, but still in negative territory. Everything on this side also following directions. HTZ, we were talking about Hertz Global, 8% now to the downside. I want to mention Under Armour down there, 4.7% to the downside. If you're looking for something with weakness, that one is definitely a candidate. McDonald's coming back to the downside, even with the upgrade today. It did have a nice little push off the open all the way up to 208. We're back to about 196. Huge range on the day. Very, very thinly traded today, but McDonald's one to have a look at. Under Armour coming to the downside today. It did try to get positive a couple of times there above 950, but back to about 860, guys, for UAA. Let's look at some upgrades and downgrades. Back over to you.
Okay, Apple. I was looking at UAA. You know, that was one thing that we did sort of ignore there, and I have to apologize. We haven't really been
the airlines. I mean,
many of the airlines today, and we did talk about it in the pre-market there. So a little missed opportunity. Thanks, Brendan, for bringing that back to our attention as the market obviously continuing to fade down here, guys. Apple at these lows again, guys. 245. I was looking at Apple and I'm just thinking 243, maybe. If
2,400 just went there on the ES. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to see if I can. It's not even a great entry point, but I see Carnival bracing down towards its bottom as we're just rolling over here. So I'm probably going to get stopped out on that target long. I'm going to hang on to that Macy's, maybe adjust my stop order to fade it a little bit differently there, and then quickly looking over, see where we can't get some shorts here because the market looking very, very weak after that failure. We just couldn't get to that 2,500, and again, that's overnight where it was Europe started to fall at that time, and we got a big 100 handle move to the downside. We tried to get back up there. Looks like the futures failed in that task.
I mean, Square is still trying to hold, man. Okay, let's go back over to Square because I'm still waiting. You know what? Maybe we'll stay on Apple. I really like that 243 level. We were talking about that. Again, I'll open up like maybe a 15-minute, 30-minute chart here. We'll see what this looks like. Oh, we're going to get the pre-market involved here. But okay, here is 243 is right here, guys. It's touched down to 244. This is kind of that little break spot here, 242. So as we come down on Apple, I told you there's a hell of a lot of support in this area. So we'll see if it wants to break it coming through right now. 242, 243 is coming in Apple. I think this is a spot where I should probably gamble a little bit here. We're traders, so I should put on some shares and gamble. 243, let's see if that can hold on Apple on a little bit of a longer time frame here. This is a 30-minute chart. You can see we've been trading it all over today. It's my number one stock, so I'm going to roll some of these profits into like a 244 long or so here in Apple.
Yeah, and speaking of rolling here, we're rolling to the downside in AMD, about to take what would be the bottom again, 45.50, and I'm sitting here. Yeah, exactly like you said. Those shorts at 24.80 on the futures when it topped out. If we'd only hung on to some of those, be absolutely laughing right now. Just got our target out. We'll slapshot, not our target out on Macy's, not our target position out. We just got that target at 530 that just hit. So of course we start that short at 570. We get the final shares out for a 40-cent win on Macy's. And again, when the market rolled over, my first instinct was to jump over to a retailer breaking the low of the day. Nothing too sexy about that. It's just, you find something that you know is going to be weak, relatively speaking. The market trying to get to this bottom here at 23.88 is where we were right off of that little move, 100 handles up. We're all the way back down. Didn't take very long.
Nope. Brendan, what's up, bud?
I see Ken mentioning ASTC there. Now 475% here, guys. Yeah, halted on a volatility halt. We're above 5 now, still going to the upside on significant volume. They were in the coronavirus space again as of today, guys.
All right, so I stepped into Square. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of coronavirus names. We have to check out Gilead as well at some point today. Okay, Square right now, I'm just taking a very, very small long right here. I would much rather go long if it breaks through this level right here, $52, but we'll average into this. We'll average up into it, I guess. 51.34 is where we're long. That's right here. You guys can grab this with me if you do want that. But Square just holding up pretty good on an upgrade. The bottom wick here is basically 50.60, so I think we can give this enough room all the way down to that level here. That's basically the open price, $50. So right here, we go long Square, and it's instantly right now into the money, about 10 pennies. But obviously, we're looking for more on the Square trade. I'm purposely taking light here so we can start to average in if this does fall. I think it'll bounce around. If the market goes, then Square will go. But if the market continues to fall, obviously, we don't want to be dug into any of these names.
Yeah, speaking of falling, I mean, Carnival's trying to get to the downside here. You're looking at this 13.12 area. That's the absolute low. I have a short here in the 40s. Would like to pick some up in the 50s and 60s if we could, using that 14 even. It's an aggressive short at this little bottom, but we are sort of hedged somewhat on a nice little level in target here as the future is trying to get back above 2,400. So at that point, you get that long recovery idea. So target right now, basically, just under flat. But if we can make a nice little bounce off these futures, I mean, if it's going to be as simple as go down 100 handles and bounce, go up 100 handles and turn, it's not going to be that difficult of a trade. You flip one way or the other. We flip to the long side now in that target trade, which we did mention to you. So nice little base here. If it breaks through that 94, that's when you look for some profit taking, not necessarily before that. I mean, you can take $1 maybe on some shares and then get back in on a 94 break in case we base here. That's not a bad idea. Might go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and we're watching this Square. The only position I have on right now is Square. Unfortunately, I was talking too much about Apple and not taking the long. I hope you guys did. We talked all about why I did like that long, and here it comes in right now. Apple long was 244.50. I gave it to you. Unfortunately, I was looking at Square, so my mistake on that one. But here you go to the long side on Apple. Big time winner. I hope you guys had that one.
Yeah, I'm taking off that Carnival. Forget about it. The market trying to hold this bottom at 2,400. You know, if you're going to bottom pick there, selling at the low, I think you can wait for the actual break of the low of the day. Seems like a more reasonable opportunity to be taking that trade at that time. We've talked about the airlines a little bit, but I want to go over to a Boeing. This one still up 14%, but it's given quite some back. Watch out for 141. If we roll over past this 2,400 again, I don't see any way that we're not selling Boeing through $141 even. So watch that. We're up $4 off it right now. I'd probably also be fading the 150. The market feels weak.
Yeah,
Boeing was up so much. I feel like those are shots that you're going to want to take, at least from a price action standpoint. So if we fail to put in a higher, another higher little top here since the open on Boeing, that'll be 1 through 148. You're probably looking to fade that 150 mark for me. And this what's looking like a relatively weak market now back down 1.3% on the ES.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to look for opportunities for you guys here, including Square. We've averaged into it, like I said. It's basically, look, I mean, I would rather it be ripping through these levels, but right now this is giving us a good opportunity to get some long. So we'll see if Square wants to go. A stock that I absolutely destroyed, it was trade of the day. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Beyond Meat up again, another 7%. We took multiple dollars on this the other day, and a very similar move happens right off the open again, where you could buy 71s and let it rip all the way to 78. So we're going to look at a Beyond Meat long here through 73. So you guys can mark that one down. Hopefully that'll come through. Beyond Meat long at 73. Looks actually maybe even, yeah, what is this price here? Yeah, 72.66. So we're almost getting really close to that right now. 73 long in Mr. Beyond here.
Yeah, we did notice you, Ken, there talking about ASTC. Look, it's a second halt here. It's done 15 million shares on the day, now up 500%. For me, when I look at these halts,
Decent.
I'm usually looking to see when it halts and then opens back lower to try to fade these ones in, especially when it passes that 200-300% up on the day. So we'll look to see this should open back up in about 2 minutes or so. When it gets the first significant move to the downside, I'm going to use some of those tops to see if we can't fade this one on a short retracement. Watch out, it's going to be relatively illiquid when you consider the price. It's a $6 name and it's done 15 million shares. With this kind of movement, the liquidity could be a bit of a concern. ASTC, let's wait for it to open it up in a couple of minutes.
2040. I was just looking at some weak names here, including BAC. So BAC right now. Beyond Meat just falling back down. I was waiting for 73. So you guys watching Beyond Meat will switch up our game now and put it back over to the banks. And BAC right now, big move in the morning, guys. Obviously, we talked about that all day. We crushed the longs, but right now BAC, nice little fade back down about $1.50, which is a big move on a bank. So we are watching this one at this 2040 level. I would love to go short that 2040, but I'm not sure, man. These futures, though, I know we've been talking about it, but it is a strong, it's not strong, but there is a bounce off 2400 here. We dipped as low as 2395, then buyers came in right away to support that. So we may be good if we look for some longs on some of these names here. I'm going to probably go back to JPM, though, because that's been my favorite.
Yeah, quick look over here at Zoom, and I mean, this entire way down, it's basically not given too much back. It's only a couple of dollars away from the high at 148 even. It's usually at this time of day I'd be looking for a fade trade off of that high. I do think that could be a decent opportunity, but you want to have this one probably in the 146, 50-ish range, which you're a buck away from picking up there. And then if it breaks it, you got to at least consider the long, especially if we're going to rally off of this little 2400. But guess what? Like you mentioned there, Sean, we haven't gotten going here. I'm basically sitting here flat to up on this target position, which we're left with. I have some stops to break some lows. I have a couple of stops for some longs that we talked about. But now Zoom, I'm going to add this one to the list in front of that 148. If I can get something a little closer to 147 even to the short side, I'll give it a shot on a retracement. It's just so strong and it hasn't really given anything in this weak-ish market. But it's 10:20. We talked about one small cap that just got halted a second time. Let's go to Brendan for a few more small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll have a look at that ASTC still moving to the upside. Crazy movement on that stock today. I want to start with this one though, CTSO. If you joined us in the pre-market, we were talking about this one, also joining the coronavirus group, ever-growing group. You can see on the daily chart here, monster volume coming into this thing today. A huge spike all the way up to 950. We mentioned already had come in a lot in the pre-market, was around 650. Only thing to look at, I mean, we kind of failed at 7 right at the open. Immediately got back below that 650. I mean, that was really the only trade. Did give you $1 if you did take that break of 650 on the way to the downside, but not doing a heck of a lot otherwise for CTSO so far. Yeah, ASTC. Wanted to mention on this one, only 3.8 million shares available in the float, so it's also about a $4 million market cap, so very, very small as far as market cap goes. I mean, above the $4 high there was really the long. Otherwise, tough to be involved in that one, to say the least, at this point. NBY, we were also talking about as well, really not related to coronavirus, but this one, they regained NASDAQ credentials to stay on the listing side. So $1 here broke right at the open this morning, back tested it, a little bit of a short opportunity. It's down about 10 cents. Otherwise, though, pretty quiet day so far as small caps are concerned. Let's go back to Sean.
Okay, yeah, good look there. Thanks, Brendan. And unfortunately, we did take our first loser there on Square, but of course, it comes right back on this market move to the top side there. So we get stopped out at 50-50, but then, you know, it comes right back, and such is life there on that trade. So we did take our BAC as well. So we're long on that name right now, but that's at 20.65. So we're out of the money a couple pennies here. If this futures move can sustain itself, then I do think that some of these banks have a lot of room to get back here, 21 and change. We will drop some, though, if we can get into the 80s here. But right now, BAC to the long side, I feel horrible that Square did go all the way basically down to the breaking point there. So that's the first loser of the day. So we will fall down into a hole. Look, it happens to all of us, guys. Bear with me. We'll get this.
You know, a way to lose is to short on Zoom. I did mention, of course, you know, a tight stop in front of that 148. So it's approaching that 148. It's the time of day that if we hold in the weak market, we definitely want to take a shot here. You're only risking about 30, 40 cents, and you got at least upside to 145 if it does turn around. But if it breaks out, we're at the bottom in the futures. It's a reversal to the long side for me in Zoom here through that 148. So we did pick this one up short. That target just can't seem to get going. It's basically still flat. I'm long at 92.70. It just can't budge in and out of this 92.93 range, which we're long in the middle of. So I wanted to get going. The futures probably have to sustain a bit of a bounce. And what we're talking about here, if you're looking over at the NASDAQ, look, we got it to a low. We made a bit of a bounce here, but look at how shallow this recovery has been. It was a quick move up. It was a faster, more violent almost move to the downside there. And you saw us reverse short, but I now have one short Zoom, one long target, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I can't believe, so we did get out of our Zoom here at 145 for that $3 winner, but look, it's right back at those levels, guys.
Yeah, it's so
once again, 148. This is what we were not waiting for, but yeah, it's coming through there. Nice trade. If you're looking at Zoom, probably a decent, I know you're short, so that's a great trade there. It should be coming in probably $4 or $5 should be good if the futures fade back down all the way down to VWAP right there. So let's see if that does come in. So our BAC, I was waiting for this break here of 20.40. So we're trying to average in out of this one, but yeah, we may have picked the top there of that move, and that's what's going to happen. So unfortunately, there we go. Loser on Square. Where is Square now? Okay, Square right back down to the downside, so I don't feel so bad about that. But we are waiting for BAC here, averaging in a little bit to this name, waiting for that 20.40. Which is coming faster than the futures are dropping right now. What's up, Brendan?
I've got oil, guys, coming up in about 5 minutes, but I wanted to mention this one. Little energy name, SM Energy, 11% to the downside if you're looking for a small cap energy stock. 145 down to about 125 here. They lowered their current quarter forecast. They're set to report coming up end of April, guys, so SM under pressure.
Thanks a lot there, Brendan. Zoom quickly in the money here, about $1 or so. You know, I did try to add to this one very briefly there on a 147.50 to the downside. Wasn't able to do so. it's one of those things where you talk about VWAP here at 144.50, so you do have an idea that you can get $2 to $3 on a trade like this. But I wanted to take advantage of the momentum if I could, quickly slip in a few more shares on the way down, and then be able to scalp half of it out for $1. That doesn't work out. It is headed back towards the high. So in these conditions, I'm not going to add to it. So I was trying to add on the way down. Once you miss that, though, I'm going to basically sit here and still go with the same plan of that reversal. We're back towards trending to that 2400 on the ES. So you really, really do have to watch out. That's why it's going to be arrows down on that Starbucks, which again, it just couldn't get going. It breaks that 92 to the downside. There you go. Relative weakness. It seemed like a name that we could pick a bottom on, but Target has just been getting absolutely crushed all morning long. It tries to hold the low. It does not do that. I'm going to be done with this one. Just now the Zoom short.
Okay, Zoom short. Yeah, I wish I still had on some of these shorts. We're going to look back here. I saw it's only long right now, BAC. Okay, we're going to look back here at Apple. Obviously, damn it, this 245, I feel so bad because all I was doing was talking about it, but didn't take any long. That would have been a fantastic long spot. Wait to see if Apple fades back in, guys, to those levels. That could be something that you may want to take through there, is Apple through 245 if it gets back there. That's the trade I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah, just look at the weakness in so many of these names on this pullback. I mean, Virgin Galactic, we got that run to the upside in the futures, and Virgin goes $1 up. And then $2.50 down, right? So, I mean, this is what you're talking about. Where are people selling? Yeah, I can tell you. I can show you exactly where they are. It was a positive to negative story at 1630. It's now been holding that level. So this is the range. Basically, it's a close price yesterday as the top, and we've been holding this for about a half an hour now. You need a break out of here. Otherwise, you're going to get chopped up if you try trading through this. If we break down lower in the futures, you can't hesitate to dump into a short here at 1560. You can maybe try something here in front of that previous close at 1630, but you can't get too frisky. If that breaks and we hold the bottom, it's probably a long. Those FOMO traders are going to get in. Zoom does head back in the money for us as the market continues to look weak. We're now $1.70 in the money, $1.80 in the money on this Zoom trade. And again, if you get a VWAP retracement, you're talking about a $2 to $3 type win. That's all I'm looking for as a target. Zoom's a relatively strong name. It's going to be scalp short for me in Zooms. You hit the home runs when you go long in this one.
Yeah, you're going to hit the home run short hopefully as well, so let's see if that one can go. Okay, BAC back to Greensville right now, so we will floss that one off. It looks like that'll be a decent winner for us if it can get going. Not sure it's going to get going, but we will wait to see here. BAC back to the upside. We're long at $60 right here on this name. We'll see what it wants to do. It just did. We take some out at 60 there to get a little bit of better average price on this one, so we'll wait to see if BAC can blow through the top here on a little bit of a futures move. Back through 2420 would be pretty sweet if that can break. So we'll wait to see there. We'll have to probably take this off if it gets into the 70s or 80s. Looking for a BAC win here off a nice bottom. I don't know. Wish it would have got more, but we'll see. Oh, crude oil coming in 30 seconds.
Let's go to Brennan. Good call.
We'll have a look at crude oil inventories coming out here in a few seconds, guys. Worth mentioning, API number out after the close yesterday. First time in a number of weeks that it is expecting a drawdown, whereas this number is a build. So the expectation of build of about 2.7. The API number again out after the close yesterday expecting a drawdown. First time in a number of weeks that those have been counter to one another. So here we go. Yeah, 2.7 million expectation on the build side. Build of 1.6 million, the actual number. K contract, guys, for crude oil if you want to have a look at it.
Look at BAC, thank you very much. Because it's a bank, we'll rain down the money right away, guys, pushing this one higher and higher and higher. We're long $20.52. So there you go, guys. A nice little win on BAC. Look at this average in right here. Bang, 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 bang. We didn't even have to average in. We could have just kept this and had a nice little big winner right now. But we did. We get greedy and we average in, and boom goes the dynamite right now. Big move here on BAC. Look at the futures. Let's go.
Yeah, and you talk about some strong names to jump into. If we finally get a move to the upside, you get Facebook coming through 155 again, so that's going to be a nice little jumping off point for me to jump into the long or back into the long. We had this one a bit earlier. We're going to go back into it right here on 150 break. 155 break is the futures. finally making a move off that bottom, and it took a while, but here we are. So if we can take this out, this next level, 155.50 out, maybe we get a VWAP retracement here. I'm just going to keep in the back of my mind how relatively weak it seemed basing off of this level, and not expect that we're going to necessarily retest that 2,500. So I'm not sure the longs will be as good as they were off the open, but we are now long back into Facebook, guys.
Okay, yeah. Facebook long has been cash money. And here we go again, BAC guys. Welcome. Let's go. Yeah, Modern Investor, I got you guys. Let's go. Hit the alley-oops, hit the air horns. Here we go. We're back into square. This is now a 30 penny winner. We're back long 51.30 again on this break. This has been my only loser today. So we head back and roll the dice on this one. See if we can't make this all the way back. Only one loser, guys. 141 trades today. Some of you are asking about that one. Here goes square. Alley-oop. 50 plus pennies now in the money on square. Long 51.30 here, guys. It keeps going up. We're going to get some out ahead of 52 here. Hit me. There I am at 90. Hells to the yeah. We keep going up. 50-cent winner right now on square. 40-cent winner on BAC. The only two longs we have, it's Dancing Gorilla.
There you go. And I'll go with a slap shot because I was going to try to take $2.50 to $3 on that Zoom trade, but you get the futures bouncing and running upside, you got to take the 2 because it's been too strong a stock not to take profit. It took so long. We're basing out in the futures. I did like a VWAP retracement, but I had to change my mind once we get that move long, and I'm starting to work the other direction. We've yo-yoed up and down here. You don't want to get caught off base. You take your profits on your shorts when the market turns, and you do so well so far. That's all we've been doing, just watching 100 handles up and down and taking advantage of these quick little turns.
Yeah, exactly. Taking advantage, to say the least, guys. Check the profits at the bottom, and you'll be able to see what we're doing exactly here. And it's been obviously a monster day. We'll show you guys quickly right here. I'll show you some of my positions. We only have 2 on. I know it's a little bit hard. Go Zoom. Zoom breaking through 53. Sorry, I wish 53. That'll come soon. 52 right now. Let's go here. I'll show them quickly to you. BAC, a $20.46 long right now. That is 38 cents in the money. And Square right now, 65 cents in the money, looking to break through this $52. So we already took out a third of that trade right here. I've been bad on tweeting today because I've just been too busy cashing in on everything. So check me out, check Neil out, check the show out. Follow us all on Twitter if you consistently want to see some of the ideas we're doing here. But it's been a big day. Like us, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Here we go. Floss time. Let's go Square. There's $1 in the money. So my only losing stock, turn that frown upside down. Your boy gets it all back, and Square through the roof right now, guys. $1 winner on this name. Let's go.
Yeah, we just added more into that Facebook position. Just going to let you know that we're working off of not the low of the day, but you got that higher low that it just put in off this long base that we had at the bottom in the futures. 153.30, that's going to be the stop. We just grabbed some more shares in the 70s, so we're long in Facebook. Once we take off this 155.60 area, that's when you start taking profit on the position, then the breakout, hopefully into VWAP here. In the back of my mind, like I keep saying, the future is just looking, well, it's relatively weak. Hung so long at that little bottom, but finally getting this nice move to the upside.
Man, here we go. Rain in the mud. Look at Square right now, guys. What a call this was. 51.30 long. 51.30 long here on Square. Bang. We just take out $1.80 there. Get out at 52.90. Sorry, $1.60 on that trade. So we have only a third left. Square to the moon. Let's not cry over spilled milk. Only loser gets turned around for me today, and nothing but upside surprises here on all of this. So this has been an absolutely fantastic day, Neil. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go to a name here. I know, Greg, you love shorting GameStop. I'll give you credit for this. Look, if you look at this little top, and look, scalping, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's only done about 500,000 shares, but there is more liquidity than it seems. Look at that high of the day. If you want to base off of that at 430 or so, maybe work yourself into a short, see if it can't retest. There is some decent scalping in a $4 name for you to do. However, very, very sleepy action. If the reason why I'm not looking at it on a $4 name, I want to see a few million shares worth of volume, I think, to make it a little bit more scalable as an idea. But it has been a relatively weak name, so if you like that top, why not take a shot in it? I want to always keep jumping back, even if we don't get in, and I didn't get triggered in on Boeing, but we're going to jump over here. It did try to get to that 150 mark. It does not do that. I said if we failed to get to that 150 and turn around there, that would be a point for me to jump into a short. I'm going to stick with that. So this counts as a failure as far as I'm concerned. And so we slide back down here, maybe retake this 148 to 148.50 area to the downside. We're going to jump into a short in Boeing. And again, this is just one of those fail to take a key level, fail breakout. We'll jump into one short here in front. We do have a long over in Facebook, so once again, we do have a long and a short. We'll see if it can't both work out. You never really know. We'll hang on to the bigger win. If it goes up in the market, we'll hang on to the long, and we'll have that tight stop at 150 on Boeing.
Yeah, we're just cashing out for 45 cents on BAC. Big mover there today. I did put in my stop order here. Look, who knows what Square is going to do. We're $1.20 now in the money on this one. My stop order is right back out here, right where we got in. So let's see if this one can't just continue to run to the upside here. Square now back into the $2 winner. So although we're going to hit these to try to scare people. Watch this. Yeah, there you go. Bald me. Maybe I'll shave my head and get back into that game once again. BAC up to $21. Talk about a hamster wheel. Guys, hopefully you're following the trades and running with us to all-time moves here.
Oh,
big-time trading happening. I have no loss from top. This has been absolutely fantastic. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Join us. Whenever we're ready, we can get Valeria back on screen here. But $21 back to the upside here on BAC. Your boys got this one. Once again, no pants down here today, guys.
No pants down. That's an interesting one there. I don't know why my stop just triggered. We didn't actually really get a definitive break, but I'm going to jump back in. Same trade as before. We're basically flat on Facebook. We're right in front of this 150 reversal long idea once we get through. And when you have a stop like this, you like to put, for me, I like to put it at like 150.05, 06, just to make sure that you've gone through the level on a Boeing there, guys. So still going to go with the long and the short at the same time. The market bouncing back, but very, very slowly to the upside here in the ES. Watching us cruise towards this 24.40 level.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, I'm still just holding the longs, guys. BAC just continues to be a great trade, and so does Square. So I'm just holding these two longs, waiting for some more. It's 10:40 now. The show goes until 12.
Let's go, Facebook.
So yeah, let's go everything, guys. Facebook, Apple, everything. What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, what a crazy day. Market is so volatile. I don't know what to expect even. Go on the live chat and write what do you think. Do we close positive or negative today? And of course, guys, thank you very much for your support. We need it so much. Hit more likes, subscribe for our channel. If you watch us from Facebook, like our video and share. And share the link with your friends, with your families. Maybe they can't watch it now, but they can hit the like for us. Back to the traders.
Yes,
thank you very much, and you get that little break. We tried to scalp out about 60 cents on that Boeing. It's basically back to the 150 even mark. We'll take some out for a little bit of profit, but we also have Facebook long. And remember, we said it's got to break through 155.60 before I take anything out. So that one we're also working with. But Brendan, what do you have for us, everybody?
I just know space, guys, back at an interesting level here, right at 17 bucks. Once again, was a little bit of a support area in the pre-market. We sliced through it pretty quickly at the open, but back at 17 for space, guys.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to tweet out this
base.
BAC
Why
chart,
not, guys? So nice move here in Facebook. It has still not broken that 155.60. We're going to take some profit out for that 80. There we go. As I say it, arrows up on Facebook, the dollar win. We take on the first third of our position here. Want to hold through VWAP, at least a third of it. We'll see if we can't get a few more shares out on a 156 break. We did reverse to the long trade over in Boeing, so we're tracking that name as well, that 150 area. As the futures are nicely rebounding here. So, you know, it took a while, like I keep saying over and over again, but we faded off that bottom. Nice little workout here. If we can break 150 on Boeing, I think we can maybe test those tops. But in the back of my head, I'm not that bullish on the notion that we'll get past that 2,500 mark in the future. So I'll probably be taking these off shy of the highs of the day on these reverse longs.
Yeah, why not? Right there, Neil taking that 70 cents there on Boeing, $150 name. Did it break through 150? Oh, it did. It got as high as 156, 157. I'm taking a similar thing out here on BAC. I just took some out at 09. I can't believe would not have thought that we would have had this kind of a winner happening on BAC today. So we'll take that one off. 73 cents right now in the money on this one. Oh, and by the way, our Square. Hello. $2
Long
now
is
in the
back.
money on Square. A $50
long
name,
is back.
$2 winner right there. We got into our Uber. This is a stop order that obviously did not mean to trigger, so I'm going to get out of this one right now. It's flat, but I'm in Uber, but I'm going to get out of it.
Yeah, we just cruised about $1.50 in the money up on that second half of the Boeing trade, and then just sort of slamming back. So we're trying to roll back towards this 24.50, and that'd be halfway on the ES. But you look over at something like the NASDAQ, which is basically holding below the 7,500. So I'd like to see us break that. If we test the 7,500 and fail, I'll probably take another third out of that Facebook trade, which is basically sitting in the money, but only about 50 cents or so. So as strong as it looked like it had been off that bottom, Facebook not going nearly as fast as I thought it was going to there, but Boeing working rather nicely here. Like I said, about $1.20 to $1.30 in the money. Just a couple of long positions on there, and we just talked about it. So 150 long Boeing, Facebook 154.65.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that easy, guys. I mean, this is a $20 name, 75-cent winner on BAC. $20 name. We just tweeted that out and picked that up as well. We now go long into Apple, going through 249.50. Let's see if that can do something. We are ready for Sector Watch. It looks like this is one of my favorites. Let's see what sectors are lagging, leading.
Yeah, a bit of a mixed day so far, guys. We'll have a look at what is pushing the market around here. You can see we are in positive territory for the S&P, but only slightly, about 0.26% right now for the S&P 500. Bit of a mixed story here. We'll start with the healthcare group. I mentioned some of these showing a little bit of weakness on the pharmaceutical side. Some of the equipment makers, however, showing some strength. So offsetting each other. Humana, you can see CI, UHS, and ANTM up more than 6%. Humana, they're having a really nice day, 13% to the upside. There's Mylan, though. We talked about that one a little bit, 10% to the downside. A couple other names in the pharmaceutical side of things in the healthcare group in negative territory. Communication stocks basically all red today outside of OMC, having a bit of a decent day, about 3% move to the upside. Here's the energy group, also adding some negativity today. Oil didn't really respond to that oil number today. Halliburton 6% to the downside. Devon, OKE, and HP also all about 5+% in negative territory. There are a few over here. CVX, one of them, 3.2%. VLO, another one, 3.3% in positive territory. Overall, though, energy stocks are red. Consumer discretionary names, a little bit mixed here as well. Target, 8.2%, the big one to the downside. JWN here as well, 4.8%. TJ Maxx, 8.7% to the upside. Big bounce for them today. Ulta Beauty's higher, LB and Lowe's there, 5.5%. To the upside, some of the cruise lines having a really nice day here. RCL, Norwegian, we mentioned, leading today, 16.7% in positive territory. There's some of the hotels as well. LVS, MGM, and Marriott, they're having a nice day, up about 4%. Industrials are higher. Boeing leading the way, guys, 18.6% still. SWK, TXT, and Dove all about 10% to the upside. Overall, not really a big day, but hey, we're positive, 0.2%, guys. Back to you.
Positive is positive, right, on the ES there. Basically teetering back and forth. And I did mention I wasn't quite as bullish on this first upswing as the second upswing as the first one. This is why we took some profit out on Boeing. I am still holding some shares there, looking to see if we can get past 153. We opened up at 155. I thought we could get at least close to that. It hasn't happened so far, so that break-even stop on the second half could come into play. But I will go to the moon on Facebook. It was a nice trade, a nice little base. But like I mentioned here, is I didn't really believe that we get the follow-through. Taking it all out there at 156.50, we get that little view upturn. And you see that roll over here, and this is what I was talking about. It felt relatively weak, and we're probably going to get stopped out break even the second half, and we could have had $2 on that Boeing trade. And I wish I'd done the same thing in Boeing that I did here in Facebook when things just did not feel as strong as I thought they maybe should have been off that 2,400 bounce. So it is what it is. It's still a nice little long trade if you pick those bases up. Fantastic wins to be had, just not quite as big as it was right off that open, Sean.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we are trying to fight this Apple here. I wish I would have got some at 247 there, but we did not. So we are long Apple, 248.64 right now. The futures, man, are like a slippery slope right now. I'm not sure. Apple, we did identify that as long, but now it's fading back in. Our Square, I'm waiting. Here we go, 53 and change now for Square. So we did get as high there as 53.60 or 53.50 there. Square up, move that. Square up 14%. We'll see topped out 54. I'm going to put an order right around here, 53.50. See if we can't capture a clean $2 move on $2 move on Square, guys. 53.50.
Yeah, you
Actually,
mentioned
$3.
Yeah, you mentioned $2 here, and that's exactly where Boeing got to. 152 on a 150 break here. It's going to try to make a second run at it. If we can take it out, fantastic. Or what I'll probably do at that point is roll my stop up, my stop, and trail it to maybe 151. If we do fail it, I'm still going to be going with the break even on the second half. So I still kind of believe in the juice to this 153, at least in Boeing's case, just because it's so far away from that top. Not as much so holding view up on Facebook there. But this is going to be the change of structure. If it breaks 152, slide that stop to 151, see if we can't get that bigger move to the upside.
Yeah, and we have a decent move here, 50 cents plus on Apple, our long 248.58. We talked about that. It's now getting back to the upside here as the futures want to go. So hells to the yeah, everything working out for us here as futures trying to get back above. We are going to dump some more of this Apple. We're long 248.58, just took some out at 90 there. So we're trying to dodge some bullets here as the futures could teeter, guys.
Yeah, this ASCT, sorry. Wow, I mean, you get these halts up 500%. This is not what I would usually be expecting to see, and this is why I haven't even touched it. You're just seeing a tighter and tighter consolidation. This is ridiculous here. At some point, there's going to be a breakout. I guess if it's to the downside, let's watch out. If 6 breaks, I guess I'll jump into this one to the south side. We're going to get that. I did talk about that trail. We just hit it on Boeing, so there you go. Boeing, we just sold out there, 150 even. I could have had $2. I talked about why we got out of Facebook. The market not as strong there on that bounce as I thought. Had the opportunity to take $2 out of Boeing, got a little greedy, but we did take profit on the first half, so it's not an all loss there. I just kind of feel like I should have gone across the board with those long positions.
Yeah.
Back that ASTC, the only thing I'll be doing with this is a short break through 6 even. I probably won't touch it unless that happens.
What's up, Brandon?
I mentioned some of the home food delivery services, guys, that had been strong over the past couple of days. Another one here, Chef's Warehouse, still in positive territory, but coming back to 11. So if we hold below 11, might be an interesting opportunity back down to 10. I mean, this thing was trading as low as $5 a few days ago, guys.
But he's hammering it.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. I'm looking at Carnival here. I took one shot short, and you can see me get out flat here, basically short the bottom. I didn't like my structure of the trade. I was looking at where my out was going to be, and I'm short there at 13.40. 14 was going to be your out. Don't love that. However, weakish market. Just stalled out at VWAP here. I have a 14.50.60 top. I can now try the middle of this range to the south side if I want to be short in Carnival. Only 3% to the upside. The market looking relatively weak. Let's see if we can't jump into it maybe in these 20s and 30s. Work a better position to the short side this time. Ultimately, you know, it's no good having a trade on if you can't see it through. So if your entry point doesn't allow you to hold on and you can get out flat, just get out and find a better trade that you have more confidence in.
Kind of like this one. Here we go, guys. Apple, check out this buy. I told you about defending 247. We pick it up in the 40s. So right there, and then we just cashed it out, 26. So once again, guys, another 80-cent winner there, catapulting. You can follow my trades at the bottom. They just keep getting blown up here, no problem. Square, we just take that out on this break. We talked about that breaking back down through $1, so we get out 53.20 there. That's $1. We did leave $2 on the table there. So, you know, we can't call the tops and bottoms every time, guys. But there's another one there for Square. And just to fill you guys in, I did get out of some BAC as it broke back down below 21. And then now our Apple trade, we're long 247.53 right now. So a nice little 50-cent winner on Apple, waiting to see if we can get back above 248 right here if these futures go. Let's go.
Yeah, just slid into that short there. We talked about Carnival there, 14.20. We'll add to this one. We can take more in the 30s and the 40s, but wanted to make sure we got some, as you know, the futures holding out here in the ES just around that, you know, sort of a even mark in the NQ on the NASDAQ. We're talking about down still 1% in the middle of that 74 to 7,500 range. So I do like this position a little bit better. We have more upside. If this one wants to fall down and retest those lows, you can get anywhere from a 50-cent to $1 move. So that's better. And then our risk is to this 14.65, and we get an average of 30 to 40. That's a little bit better of a structured trade here. So back into Carnival Cruise. I'll go back to Boeing for you. You know, and you know, you're gonna get faded out of this one, and I feel like an absolute chump. You get the break at 150. You stare a couple of dollars in the face. You don't take it off. You move your stop to break even. You get stopped out, and now it's headed right back up to that $2 mark. So I don't love Boeing in between this 150 and 152 range. I'm not gonna jump in till it breaks out of it.
Apple.
Very, very choppy in here.
Yeah, good question there, Kevin. Thanks for asking. Yeah, okay, come on, let's go Apple. Right now, Apple's $1 in the money, so we're gonna wait for more. So let's see if that one can get going. $1 plus now in the money on Apple. But no, to answer your question, yeah, we absolutely destroyed BAC, one of my top stocks today, and I just liked it. There was a 240 bottom here. It made it about here, 240 and change. And you know what? As it was coming down, Kevin, I just noted. Bang, $1.50 just taken off there. I can't even stop without cashing these checks right now. It made this bottom at 240, and I just liked it because of that exact reason, and I just felt like I could take more shares. So when it came back up, I was like, okay, it's going to break through here. We take it, average. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough down here, but yes, straight to the moon. This is a 61-cent winner. Let me throw up my chart. Thanks for the question there, by the way, Kevin. Let me throw up the update right now, and we will throw on my positions just to show you what we're talking about. Oh, and
there
here's more coffee. So
look at the
Thank
time.
you so much, Valeria.
Thank
that
you very
fantastic.
much, Valeria.
Thank you.
A little extra coffee
Yeah, I have
today.
a little bit left in here. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll put the position board back on for you guys just to discuss it. Oh, by the way, Apple now. I gave that to you guys live on the show. This is a $2.20 winner right now. Long 247.50. Booyah. Our Bank of America 70-cent winner. Not too bad, eh, Brendan?
Oops, wrong stock. Wrong stock.
Very good, Sean. Very good. Let's have a look at some currencies, guys. We'll check out what is moving around in currency world. Not significant moves. We've seen some very volatile currency markets over the past week and a half. Kind of tame today, so more orderly, I guess is the best way to say it. I want to talk about the Canadian dollar, though. Back to 69.75 here, almost retaking that 70-cent level. We've been talking about this huge fall from grace from 75 all the way down to 68.5. Kind of consolidating here, looking like it might want to retake 70 for the CAD. But back to the upside today for the Canadian dollar versus the US, 0.8%. So a nice little move there. Euro is also higher, 108. Once again, back above that 108 significant level. It was kind of struggling just below that for the past couple of days, and now retaking 108. The euro pound also higher on the day, which means the British pound is lower, 0.5% to the downside, 116 and change. Swiss franc also under pressure. We have New Zealand under pressure. Aussie, though, just got back to positive territory, was also red earlier on this morning, but back to the upside for the Aussie. Crypto's not really doing a lot today. Bitcoin back to about 6,600, down 2%. Ethereum 3%, 135 and change, guys. Let's look at some of the currency markets. Back to you.
Yeah, Bitcoin for me today, normally I'll trade that, but I haven't really traded it today. Okay, so just to give you guys an update here, I'm not messing around, as you guys know. So right here, this is almost a $3 winner now on Apple, breaking through 250. Go Apple, let's go, guys. Nice little move here to 250. I have a $1 trail now, so I'm not even gonna look at this thing. We're long 247.50. I hope you guys like that call on this name, obviously. We can now minimal take $1 or $2 on this trade. If it falls back down $1, I'm using a trailing stop of $1. So here we go, guys. Big time trades happening here today. I don't know what else to tell you, but it's been a monster day here in the market as the futures, they don't really know what they want to do.
The NQ,
if
Sean,
they ever go, watch out.
Yeah, trying to get that 7,500 mark. So I took a stab at Facebook, kind of going back to the well idea here, right at 156. And if it can hold, basically this sort of 155, 50-ish to 155 even area, it's not a bad base of operations. I really think there's so much room to run. And again, this one just couldn't get going. I'm going to take another stab at it, trying to be a believer in Facebook here. So let's see if we can't. It's already looking like it's going to fade again. We thought we could just break through. We touched that 7,500 mark, basically on the NQ, and we grabbed into a long position on that break, thinking we could have some follow through. None whatsoever, but we are long in Facebook. We are going to give this one about to the 155, 50 break. We'll allow it to go 10, 15 pages. So tight stop in Facebook after it was just not as strong as we had anticipated.
Yeah, and there's a $2 win there, Apple. It does break back down below 249, and we actually get, we got 249.03. So I guess it must have ticked up to 250.03. So nice little trade there. We take our dollar trail and bang it out right there for once again. And thanks, Kevin, for the compliments on the call. I'm trying every day to get better, and I think that those of you that are watching the show are noticing that we are getting a lot better at some of these calls.
Except for at entering orders. You can rewind the tape. You heard me saying Carnival Cruise 1465. That was our stop, or at least that's what it was supposed to be. I go to check to see why we triggered because I must have put that one in a little bit incorrectly. Turns on a dime there at 60, but I just got stopped out at 60 instead of 65, and you're going to see it come all the way back in. And look, ultimately, keystrokes are part of the game. You have to factor it in there. No, everybody's human. You make a mistake here or there. I actually probably, if I was quick enough, should have jumped back into the trade. But when it already slides back down past your average price, I'm not going to chase it, 30 pennies or so on a $14 stock just because I made a mistake. We'll wait to see if the trade comes back and gives us another entry. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. That's for sure. Okay. I keystroked on Microsoft. Quite big. So there we go. Okay, Apple right now, 249, still kind of chilling out. Was wondering about this 250 level. We did break it slightly there before coming back down in. So now I'm watching this Apple level 250 again. Would love the long if it does break back above 250.20 or so here long on Apple. If that's the high, we're going to take that again if it wants to go. But for right now, the only position we have on is a 70-cent winner on BAC, and I've gone over that. Thanks, Kevin, for that call, or for the compliments on that one. But that's my only one that I have right now. I'll find some more.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes until we at 11 o'clock, of course, we do the trade of the day. We shift into a few other things. We're not going to have a guess. We're going to be trading right through. But Intel, I just sort of noticed here, very similar setup to Facebook. And I've had a little bit more luck sometimes in the afternoons or a little bit later in the session with Intel over some of the other tech names for whatever reason it might be. Facebook's still holding the 156, but Intel, I'm looking at a breakthrough 5150. And again, these are just plays. If the futures can take out this 7,500 on the NASDAQ and get any kind of a follow through, where do I want to be long? And Intel could be one. A Facebook could be one as we jump back in to that one. Keep trying this Facebook. It just needs to get going at some point. So we do have this long in Facebook one more time. I keep giving it a shot here within this range. This time I'll probably give it to 155 even just to dig in a bit.
Okay, yeah, I have an order in for 5150 as well there on Intel. Good luck on that name for sure. Although yesterday I traded it great through and then it fell back. So we'll have to
watch
wait.
those breaks.
We'll probably break that through, but I'll be here, so don't worry. Okay, Apple right now, 249.50, looking at that 250.20 break as well. So if that comes through, we will take that. Neil will be doing trade of the day in a couple minutes. Just to review, we could have. This Apple was a huge trade off the open here going long, 252, ripping it to 258. There was lots of trades involved there. My Facebook trade here was an absolute monster, long 157.60 all the way up to 162 early. We haven't traded it since. I wish I had, Brendan.
Capri Holdings, guys, we mentioned this one yesterday. Big move to the upside yesterday. They refinanced some of their debt and added some other corporate movement yesterday. Just popping up on a volume scanner here, 175 broken on a huge volume spike. CAPR, once that thing does get moving, it can give you a nice move, guys.
You mentioned volume spikes, certainly that ASTC I did mention to what we're waiting for. It almost got down to that 6 even area. I still do have my order, just want to make sure that we are locked and loaded to go if that breaks 6 even. It's again the only trade I'm taking in this name. I guess you could look at it if it takes a top out. It's up 500%, maybe if it goes 775. Some people have jumped into the short already in this consolidation, and you can sort of make some money off of their back if it blows off the top. For me, I'm just going to do the retracement. The fact that it doesn't seem to have more legs for this long means at some point when it sells back in, there should be a few people still hanging on to those longs. They'll be dumping them off there, and I'll see if I can't catch a nice little short through 6 even. 500%, I mean, there's no way it's going to hold too tight of a range for too long. I will go over to my regret right now, and that's going to be, we talked about Boeing. This is what happens when you get out with a trailing stop a few times. There's the move to 155, that high of the day. It's all good. It's all well and good to make a call structurally on a trade. You get cute with sliding some of your stops to lock in profit. This is what can happen to you. The move was a 150 break. You want to give it to this little consolidation here, 148 initially, which is what we're doing. You slide your stop up when it goes into profit. You get this little wick to the downside. It basically holds this level. It holds VWAP, and then you get the continued move to the upside. I was only going to take $2 or $3 on it anyways, so the $5 move doesn't really matter, but still, now we're testing the top. Boeing has been so strong all day long, and I don't know that we've seen text of the deal yet, have we, Sean?
I don't know. But
Man,
here we go. And it doesn't matter because I got stopped out obviously on Apple as well. But here we go. We take it again and just start running it up. So Apple, nice little winner once again for you guys happening. And Intel, takes out 5150.
We're testing 7,500 again. So Intel take out 5150, immediately coming back down. But
Intel
Facebook
sucks.
finally trying to go, and again 155.76. I keep going long in front of this 156 level, and it just does not continue this move. So we are ready for our European update. I'll throw some stops in so I can go do the trade of the day. Let's throw it to the big screen with Valeria.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Well, Europe mostly positive, but market is very volatile today, so indices are bouncing back and forth. Well, Britain is up 1.52%. Germany is down 0.82%. Spain is up 0.1%, and Russia is up 0.1%. Well, some quick news from Russia. President Putin announced that the national vote on his proposed changes in the Russian constitution would be postponed due to coronavirus outbreak. Originally, the national vote was scheduled for April 22nd. Well, there are now 658 confirmed coronavirus cases in Russia. Vladimir Putin also announced that starting from March 30th until May 5th, it will be official lockdown in Russia and a week of paid leave. That's all for today, and I'll keep you updated. Back to Brandon.
All right, guys, 11 o'clock. Let's get into Trade of the Day. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is the segment we go back over and do a little bit of a review of one of the trades that either Neil or Sean took off of the open today. It's going to be Facebook, as you saw there. We mentioned in the pre-market, Facebook came out and said that their usage obviously is through the roof as everyone is sitting at home looking at social media. Interesting session overall, though. I think it was pretty easy to get caught long initially, and then we got that big pullback in the overall market. Neil's set to go at the TV with Trade of the Day.
Thanks a lot, Brennan. I mean, there was wild action off of the open. This is why you want to tune in at 9 a.m. Go over a few symbols, talk about what is in play, talk about some levels that you can play off of, have an action plan in this level of volatility, and you're going to see just how much we move. And I'm going to zoom this chart way out because I wanted to show you guys the pre-market as well. But look at what happens in the first couple of minutes there in Facebook. $5 move after going down quickly $3 or so. So I came in actually looking a little bit bullish on Facebook, wanting to get a breakout. We talked about 161 in our preparation, but in the back of my mind, I also like these pullback plays. Where is that support going to be in case you get one of those flushes, people taking some profits off the open, selling it off? Where is it going to turn around that we can catch on the way back up? So we identified this pre-market low, wanted to catch this one if we could at that little bottom once it rejects through that to break that price. Let's roll the first clip to talk a little bit about the entry. It was a wild one right away. Yeah, so Facebook right there holds through yesterday's, pre-market bottom, guys. This is a pre-market low. Pick it up on the way back in, already in the money, about 60, 70 cents. We're looking to get 150. We're 156.87 long. Let's see if we can't pick over $1 out of that move. It's all about finding that pre-market low. We bounced off it rather nicely as the futures are back into slight negative territory.
Guys, big trade here.
You might have been able to guess that we're both long in Facebook, and it's bouncing there. I mean, you saw that pre-market level. This is what we're talking about. It was very, very quick. I mean, you want to have that extra confidence to pick it up once it starts turning around. Either have a level to work off or have some kind of an indicator which is going to give you an idea. You could read the tape, and I know people will do this as well, to see the momentum slowing down and then to pick back up to the buy side. That can be tricky. I love to find something that has a level that I can work from, that once it retakes it, basically to the penny there at 157. As it faded back into that, we picked it up here just actually in front of that. I think we got 87s, 156.87 to the long side. Now, as is my usual custom, this is a scalp trade for me. The momentum is to the downside. What I'm usually looking to do here, Brendan, is scalp at least halfway back with this top end, bottom end range, and then just get in and out very, very quickly. The other way that you could have played this, of course, was to take the entire trade to the long side. I was still looking for that break to the upside there, Brendan. So I stuck with the structure of my original plan instead of shifting and going for that home run, Brendan.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how these things reacted. Once we got kind of over that 7,500 area on the NASDAQ futures, there wasn't a lot of levels to work off of. So very, very whippy action on a lot of the individual stocks and also the futures right off the bat, as we saw in Facebook there. Let's go to the next clip.
We quickly identify on the dip. You get that pre-market low. That was the range we liked. It doesn't break the top off, but you can pick up that bottom of $1.50. Very, very quick move. Nice action already in these names. So there you go, guys. We talk about why we got out. You can see this nice little area of volume around that 159 area. Going to give you about $1.50 worth of a win, so about a 1% type of return. And again, I'd still like to break through 161. The reason I take it out here, again, is because that particular strategy for me, instead of it being strong off the top and breaking out, it gave you that flush off the open, support on the bottom. That's a scalp trade in my strategy. I mean, it's one of those things where you can kind of always adapt, maybe get a little bit more sophisticated in your trading, do two things at once here, scalp a little bit off, but also hang on to some for an extended move. Maybe look to catch a break through 159 even. That's another way that you could have played this. For me, it was in and out in the scalp. We had a few things on at that time. I like that quick little action, but you have to have identified that pre-market level, Brendan.
It was interesting, the volatility that came in right at the open in the pre-market was kind of, hard to see that coming, and then we got that, crazy movement to the downside initially, and then, everything kind of rips right back to day highs, and then we come back in. The overall market kind of holding within that initial range now, but if we do get above that 7,500, Facebook's still showing a little bit of strength. Let's go to the next clip.
And Facebook fading right back in. So even if you miss the punch, it actually gives you an opportunity on that little pullback to get back in at about 161.15. There goes Microsoft as well to the upside. It's again holding that 149. I want to be adding to that one if I can. It's just not giving me that opportunity at either breaking through 150 or maybe getting any kind of a significant little pullback. I think on Facebook, I'm adding this one in front of 160 as well, guys. So 161 long, 149.11 long. Both those I do like. So there's no add to this trade because it basically breaks that 161 and just goes straight up. It did try to teeter back maybe 30 or 40 cents or so, but never really gave you the clean move down into this little area where you're probably going to be channeling and wanting to build a bigger position. The interesting thing here for me is you have to watch what is happening in the overall market, and this is one of those things you can't get away from. You can have your levels on a stock and you can have all the indicators you want, but if the NASDAQ, if the NQ or the ES start getting to a very, very key level and we have some resistance there and we turn around, you got to take some profits off in those longs, and that's really the reason why you don't get the extension in this trade and why we had to jump out of it. I still think when you take this long through 161, you're probably looking at a target of more than 50 cents to $1, which you end up getting. You're thinking a bit of a bigger move, especially after you made that base, Brendan. But you have to pay attention to the price action. You can't ignore what's happening in the futures.
If we're looking at this now, Neil, you want to see it kind of retake the low end of that pre-market range before we start setting up for any kind of long opportunity. At this point, I mentioned, the market kind of grinding back to the upside here, but still within that initial range. What are you looking at if we do get a long opportunity here?
I was literally just under my breath a couple of times talking to Sean there, saying how frustrated I am because what I did do is work back in, and we did take a long here at the bottom and then get out in front of VWAP because it just didn't seem like Facebook wanted to go. So the relative strength wasn't there. This long, which is not taking that pre-market bottom as you mentioned, had more to do with the NQ taking that 7,500 mark. Back thinking that after that would happen, you get a nice little press to the upside. So you jump in, and I have a relatively tight stop there down at 155 on this trade. And the reason there's a tighter stop on that trade is because, as you mentioned, we have not gotten back above that pre-market low level, which would show a little bit more strength in Facebook, which it's been lacking.
Yeah, it needs to retake VWAP at least, you would think. Let's go to the last clip here.
Facebook on Microsoft on
162.20. That 161 break, absolutely fantastic. It's the second time we're long. We've already ripped $1.50 off on Facebook. We're back in the money, about $1.20 on this one. And for me, it's scalp city. I talk about that 2,500 level. If that breaks, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to grab long. So you get $1.50, you get $1. You can always jump back into this one as well. Softy, we'll see if we can't take some profit on that 150 break. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Lots of room into the upside. We had just mentioned that top level there on the futures, 2,500 on the ES was approaching. It stalled out at 2,480. You heard me talk about taking profits on Microsoft, which we did at the top. We took profits at the top right there, almost top wick on Facebook. Now, I ultimately did reverse when the futures resisted off that level. It just happened not to be in Facebook. It was in Twitter. It was in a couple of other names. Obviously, it would have been fantastic in Twitter when you're bullish on a name and working into the long side. I usually have other stocks that I'm thinking that I want to be short in that I think can be better, not necessarily from the size of the move, from a risk to reward standpoint, meaning that if I'm wrong about that short, it's easier for me to get out of it. I'm probably losing a little bit less, Brendan. But Facebook right now, I am in a long. I'll feel a heck of a lot better about it if it takes out this 157. It's got to get back above that pre-market low to really dig in and maybe open up that stop, Brennan.
All right, there we go. A little bit of a review of Neil's Facebook trade. Keep in mind, coming up at 11:40, we'll go back over a whole bunch of trades both Neil and Sean took throughout the morning. If you see a trade or hear a trade that either of the guys are taking throughout the show and want them to kind of review that, throw it in the chat. We'll see if we can't do a request review at the end of the show, again coming up at 11:40. Facebook, though, showing some strength, giving you opportunities to the long side and on the short side today, your trade of the day. Let's go back to the guys.
Brandon, here comes another winner. Brandon telling me to hold my trades a bit longer. How does $3.50 sound? So today I've taken over $16 out of this Apple name today. And here's another one. This is just another $3 winner. Today I've taken $3 or $4 out of Facebook. BAC as well, guys. Today this is an 80-cent winner right now. We should have hammered that a little bit more. Intel I averaged in, but we did pick some up down here, 51.13. I hate Intel, so we will wait to see if that one wants to go. But Intel should have broke through that 51.50. I'm not sure why it didn't, but it's been a big day for me regardless. Apple, I put a dollar trail again, guys.
Yeah, that's a frustrating trade, that Intel one. Getting up from the station here, I wasn't intending, and when I got in position, didn't have a hard stop in terms of a stop order. You let it break that 51. I was going to manually trade it, but when you get up, you have to put a stop. It basically just touches 98, triggers me out, and then it goes right back up to 51.40. But it does look like it's having some trouble getting through. We're holding above 7,500. I still do have that Facebook long I just mentioned there, of course, at 155.76. If it breaks through 157, I'd like to be adding to this position. It would show me a lot of strength here once we get above that pre-market low. That was our initial entry price when we got into this one for that little trade of the day, at least the start of it. So I'd love to be adding to this one in front, which means why not take $1 off here if I'm getting back in at 157 anyways, because at least that affords me the opportunity. If it dips back down, I can get back in at 156 or 155.70 or so. And if it breaks out, I'm taking shares anyways at 157. So we'll take off $1 profit. It's 11 o'clock. It is the time of day you should do that. We'll slap shot action because we miss hockey. But I'm going to get back on the bid here around this 155.50 to 156 mark on Facebook, and still breaking out through 157 if we can.
Yeah, I'll be hammering that as well off of that break. So get ready for that. Okay. I see that, Modern Investor. What's up, my friend? And I have $1 trailing again. Look, I've trailed and they haven't worked out for me great, but it looks like I'll get stopped out soon on this dollar trail on Apple. It moves so violently that you have to have some of these stops in there, and I could have been up way more if I didn't use trailing stops, but it seems like the right thing to do today. So there it is. Apple comes out there, and it was a $3.50 winner, so I hope you guys like that. It's only a $2.50 winner right there for that, but I am going to go back over to Facebook and hammer that one if that does break 156.70 or so. I love that play.
Yeah, and this is why I take it out in front of that 157. It's going to be a key level, and it's going to give you profit. Why not just take the scalp trade there for $1? Why not think about getting back in if you really, really like that bottom? And again, you can see me just sort of sitting here in front of that 155 that I already had as a stop, so I don't really have to do anything but take the trade off, think about where we want to get back in. And with the market rolling back over to 7,500 on the NASDAQ over and over again, look at this nice little channel that we're in here. We just got halfway back and we can't go any further. This is why it can be really, really tricky. If you don't take profit on that Facebook trade, you're basically sitting there and you're digging back in where you could retest those lows, and suddenly you're looking at $2 to $3. So this is why I have a hard stop at 55. This is why you take the profit, waiting to see if we can't get back in. I'm sitting at 155 in the 70s for our first entry.
All right. And we're taking already. Look, I mean, the winners, I don't know what to tell you, but we wait in the weeds on Intel, and the winners just keep popping off here. So look at this trade again. We go long 51.12, get right away out at 28. So, to take one of Neil's lines here, we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth and take a quick 20 cents on Intel. But that one just keeps going to the upside, and we're just banking everything, guys. I mean, today's just been a monster day. You could check. Look, they're $18 right there on Apple as it just keeps going. $6 on Zoom. The profit is there, guys, and so is you guys. And thank you so much for joining us every single day on the show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's been a good day, and still more to go. 45 minutes.
Yeah, Target finally did go. hate your guts target. We did get a flat trade there on our last entry point after trying to dig into a long, so a couple of longs failed out. Now we're holding this sort of 95 to 96 area. Look at this leg on the way down. The second leg that was that $3.50 move, you can see it was right here at 95.50, and that's going to be the top of this move. So if the futures want to roll over, and again, we're holding at 7,500. We're not as strong as you would like to be off that 7,400 bounce. Target could be a place to slide into this little short around 95. Use that 95.50. It's a relatively reasonable trade from a risk perspective, and the relative weakness that I saw in this name could actually pay off if we take this trade short at about 95. We can get it.
All right. Seeing some tweets from at Airplane Jane. What's up to at It's Airplane Jane, tweeting some stuff at me. Yeah, follow me on Twitter there, and we'll have a party as we go. Check out Square, guys. This was such a great long. I hope a lot of you traders had that. If you're looking for some more longer term trades, we gave this one to you, and you didn't even have to get out at all. There was no need to get out. It doesn't even come close to breaking 50. We go long 51, and it's now 54. So I hope you guys had that, because Square has been an ultimate long today. Apple, again, we're going to try to find a spot to get back in. But watch, these futures, guys, are fading back in right now. Maybe we'll take us a BAC. If BAC drops again below 21, we'll take it off. Sorry that we didn't capture that whole 50 cents. We only have 10% of our initial position on there. We're going to give back 40 cents on this one, but is what it is. Like I said, the day has been huge. What's up, Brendan?
These little guys yesterday get absolutely crushed in the afternoon after a margin call, but Starwood here up 12% today. It's been hurt. 26 down to about 9. We're bouncing back nicely today, up to about $10 for STWD, guys.
Thanks a lot, Brett. I'm going to slide back into a target position there. We just talked about this one. We got some at 94. 12 looks like we got there as our entry price. We're back down below that 7,500. A name that I kind of talked about fading to the short side is one that we're going to give a shot to as well, and that's going to be Virgin Galactic. You see it try to get all the way back up to the top after flushing, and we talked about this. It only went up $1 and then slid down 3. It tries to get back to the top at 18. It cannot do so, giving you an opportunity here in the mid-17 range to jump into short, as maybe we're rolling over in the future. So we grab target to the short side. We're going to start building a position over here in Virgin Galactic as well. Going to look to some of these shorts. I talked about it looking kind of weak off that little bounce to 7,400 over if you're looking at the NASDAQ, and in the ES it was at 24 that we had that turnaround. We're fading into some shorts, although I do have that Facebook long one more time.
Yeah, okay. Facebook, I wouldn't mind actually having a look at that quickly. Okay, JP Morgan. Okay, I did, again, Kevin, I did go to BAC last time. We are going to wait to see if BAC does break through 21, which we have right now, and is just ripping back up through. So I'm going to check out JP Morgan. That's been another stock. My worst stock by far yesterday. Lost a couple $100 on that name, but today we'll see if we can't. Hold on a second, gotta get out of that. See if we can't get back into this, breaking through 87. So I do like JPM on an 87 break, guys.
Absolutely, and so we got a couple of positions on. It's probably not a bad time to give you the update. So we'll throw the board up so that you can see what our prices are, what we have working with here. And I am going to be adding to that target position in that Virgin Galactic position short side, but we do have 17, 26 short in Virgin. We also have target here at 94, 12 to the short side. I wanted to add to that one closer to 95 if we could. Wasn't able to. And long in Facebook now, 155.75. Still have that stop at 155 even. Don't want to get too, and I guess not greedy is not the word. Don't want to be overconfident in that long. It's been a hard test through that 157. We'll probably be scalping some out in front of that because the levels held so well on Facebook. But Brendan, what do you have for us?
Just having a look at CrowdStrike, guys, continuing its bounce back from the dead. 32 at the bottom here. We're back to 58 for CRWD, having another nice day. Up about, well, it was 3% now. A little bit of a pullback. CRWD also strong, guys.
CrowdStrike, definitely had that one to list. I keep wanting this ASTC to give me the break of 6 even and actually trigger me into some shares. When we did the trade of the day, cancel some of the stops. I don't like to get into something like this when that's happening, and of course that's when 6 breaks. Now the fortunate thing is it doesn't follow through. So if I was triggered, I would probably still be sitting in this doing absolutely nothing, but a failed break is just as bad. So there's no way I'm going to be jumping into this one after it just came back about 50 pennies or so. It's really calmed down. You really want to see some explosive movement when it takes some of those downside levels. That's just not there in ASTC, so it's a huge disappointment on that small cap. Not going to be involved in it.
Guys, Intel, again, I don't know. run the cash. What else do you guys want? Intel right here, 51 and change. Just took out for 40-cent winner on Intel. So there you go. Dead cat bounce? No, but there's the dead cat for you. Anyways, Intel coming to the upside here. Great little longs off these 51s. We did take a little shot here at 51.50. Got out right away, average into that one. So now Intel back to the top side again. We don't have any negative stocks today other than Intel. So we're going to wait to see if that one can come back up. Apple, BAC, Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, Square, Uber, Zoom, all face slapped today because it's been a big day on all of these names. You can check the profits below. They keep riding through. Thank you so much, guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as Intel continues to go up 35 plus pennies in the money and BAC 65 cents in the money. The only two trades I got on.
We talked about a sluggish Twitter, and it's sort of a, an understatement. If you look at where we flushed out here through 25.50, we're back up to that price on this rebound. So a few names like this, and I looked at Target. It's a very similar story. Virgin is the same thing. Rolling over here in the futures would be a nice starting point for a short if we can take VWAP on Twitter as well. So 1, 2, 3 names you can have to the short side, but we do have Target on. I can tell you this one is now sliding further down. Forget about the ad. It just broke 94. So we did chase this one a little bit here. We were trying to get it all the way through 95. We chased it further down, couldn't get 94.50, but we did take our furthest entry point right in front of that VWAP at 94.12. If it bounces back up, we'll be adding to this one. But if we can flush down here and the futures roll over, we're talking about a potential $2 win through the low of the day. That 92 has held very, very well. I would not expect to not run into resistance there. You'll see me take profit in front of it 100%.
Okay, we are getting ready. Valeria looks cold over there at the screen, so we're going to see. Maybe it is chilly up here today. I feel fine. But okay, futures, yeah, futures do look like they're rolling down here. So someone was asking about that. I think it was Alan TV. Yeah, we could start breaking down here, guys. I do like this move. We did stop a couple times here. You can see hesitated at 24.60 right here, then hesitated again right here at 24.60. But at the same tune, we did have a problem breaking through 24.40. So we do have to wait to see if that one does come in. It's all systems a go if you can ever get near this again, taking out this high that happened right as the market opened, 24.90. I love that one to the long side there, Alan. So if you can have that, or Phil, guys, you guys, I love that for the long side. Right now we're trading BAC and Intel, guys, and it's been both been pretty good.
And I think we are now ready. Valeria's over there at the big screen.
Freezing.
Let's throw right over to her. She might be freezing. I have no idea. Let's go to Valeria at the big screen.
Hey guys, well, yesterday US Democrats and Republicans made a progress on a $2 trillion stimulus package, which is will be for the fighting the effects of the coronavirus. Here are some of the segments of the bill. First of all, cash payments of up to $2,400 for married couples and up to $500 per children. Around $350 billion would go for small businesses help. Around 240,000 billion in healthcare relief, around 10 billion in aid for airport relief, and about 4.5 billion in aid for the Centers for Disease Control. Also, some money would go in strengthened unemployment insurance. President Trump administration and House of Republicans are urging lawmakers to pass the bill as quick as possible to support the American workers. Though multiple lawmakers were tested positive with the coronavirus, so forced others to self-quarantine, and the vote is considered remotely. Well, the voting will take place later on today, and it's very exciting how the result will affect on the market today. That's all for today, and stay focused. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Rolling over a little bit here on that target down below that 94 mark. So we got about 50 cents in the money here. I did talk about possibly retesting those bottoms. Again, if we continue this move downside in the futures, it's hard to imagine that we don't get down to that 2400. Given how weak this whole move has been, recovering back to the upside, this is why we jumped into a couple of short positions here. We had that Virgin one, which I'm not believing in as much as what we just talked about in Target, because it doesn't want to seem to go here. So as much as I'll add to this one in front of 18 or so 1780 or so, it just does not seem to have the same legs to the downside as Target does. So I am favoring that short just a little bit over space. That's why we'll probably have a little bit more risk on that, but we still have the long in Facebook. As frustrating as that stock has been, I feel like you got to go somewhere else. This is going to be my last shot here. It's been good long all morning up until this point here between this chop area 155 and 157, which has just been a wall.
Yeah, I'm taking a long right now, finally, in Facebook. So we'll see if that one can come through. Hopefully it does. Long 155.25 right now on Facebook. Waited for it to come down to this level here of 155. I don't know if it's going to hold, like Neil said, but we are gambling here with that stock, I think. Facebook has been a monster for me today, but we will wait to see if it wants to hold this 154 and change down here. 154, yeah, basically 155 even. So we're going to take that long, and there it goes instantly in the money, 25 cents. We want much more. I'm going to take a bigger long through 156.50. So hopefully we can grab that dollar on this name for sure to the upside here, guys. Let's go.
Looking for things that can possibly bounce here. I got to have a look at Gilead. You get a level like this, makes a 71.20 bottom, and look at the consolidation on the low here. You can play this both ways, which I'm going to do, which is slip into the long in front. It's just such a low level of risk here as the futures try to bounce back to the upside. If we can't sneak in here with 71.44, 71.50-ish, you're only risking about 25-30 cents to the bottom. You can always reverse the other direction, and any kind of a bounce should give you a $1.50 to the upside. So we have the Facebook long. That's basically even right now. We just jumped into Gilead, and like I said, Target works to the short side, still in the money, but that Virgin just not going anywhere.
Yeah, and right now we did not take that. We were there 60 cents or so in the money on Facebook. We'll take it again if it comes back up to 155.70 or so. We will get at 155.80. Sorry, we'll get out of our Facebook. So that'll be a nice little 50-cent winner. So hopefully, right now Facebook is 40 cents in the money. We do want more, so let's see if that can get going as well. 76 cents in the money still on this BAC. We're waiting for a 21 break. Hope you guys took that. Intel right now a 30-penny winner. So right now BAC 76 pennies, Facebook 30 pennies, Intel 40 pennies. What's up, Brendan?
Market trying to hold 7,500 here, guys. If you're following the NASDAQ, just watching Macy's back above 560. A little bit of a pivot on the way down this morning. 560 should be support if you're looking for a long opportunity. Although Moody's this morning downgrading the entire sector, so careful with Macy's. Still negative, guys.
Yeah, Macy's just such a beaten up name there. I'm actually going to dig back into a few more shares here in that Target I talked about adding to it as the market starts to come up here. But Facebook finally going, as Tom was mentioning there. So we get a move through 156 very, very briefly. It did tick through, but once again, just sort of failing to get any kind of follow through. I'm taking this one out, and we talked about this over and over again. 157, you can just go long when that level breaks. You can see the wall that it's been. So why not take profit when you're long in front of 155? So that's what we're going to continue to do here on Facebook. That Gilead basically holding at flat down at that low. We're looking, it's been down there for like an hour or so, just looking to see if we can get any kind of a bounce as the futures are testing that 24.80 once again.
Yeah, they sure are, and yeah, we just punched that there. You get that idea on Facebook defending that 155, and bang, there it is right to the upside. Hope you guys had that trade. We just took off a clean 70 cents right there. Looking for more now though on this. I'm waiting for 156.50 to break. It's just been a bang day for me today, so we'll keep this train going. Tomorrow we're back. It's 11:30 now. We normally have some guests. Find out, check out our Instagram, check our Twitter. We'll be pumping those guests, but obviously,
as you can imagine,
with the days going by here, we can see that it's a little bit, some of the people working from home. We normally have guests come through, so if this is your first time on the show, welcome. We do have a plethora. We had Kevin O'Leary on from Shark Tank as well to promote, so that was a great little opportunity. Josh Smith from Neo Exchange, Richard Carlton from the CSE. Yeah, I'm name dropping because all these are supporters of the show.
Absolutely.
And we continue to like that. Jeff Foster from the TMX yesterday exactly on the show. So that was a fantastic guest as well.
Just did not get in there. We tried getting back in around 94, 94.20 there on target. Wasn't able to get shares. I'm not sure he didn't trade through me. We just missed picking them up. It's now back below that area. So, we're about $1 in the money here. Well, 50 cents to $1 depending on what the spread is because it opens up a little bit here. 94.12 still to the short side. You can see the weakness coming through. We, of course, still have Facebook and Gilead to the long side. Virgin does not go anywhere. We talked about Walmart a little bit yesterday. It was a very, very tricky trade, and the weakness is still here again. So, alert and watch out. The futures bounce there. Walmart riding on those lows. People are profit taking. It certainly looks like heavily in this name the last couple of days. It's had a lot of trouble getting off some of those bids. So watch out for this 108 bottom. Brennan, what do you got?
Just watching some of the airlines, guys. Save here. Spirit Airlines still up 23% on the day. Came back above 1650. It's trying to hold. 1650 was resistance, looking like it might be support. So Save. There's a whole bunch of the little kind of discount airlines that are doing a little bit better than the rest of the group at this point, guys.
All right.
Okay,
Your boy's getting back in Facebook here. So we just took that 80 cents winner. Now we're going to try to get back in at that same spot we were in before, down here at 155. So we're back long again. 155. What was that last print? 33. What did I get? Yeah, 155.33. I just took it. So my average price now 29. We're going to wait to see if 155 breaks. If it does, this is the structure of the trade, right? We're long 30 cents. We're going to take a 30-cent loser. We just took an. There it is. We just take a 30-cent loser. But we win 80 cents though on the top side. So sometimes it's easy. That's a well-structured trade. There you go, guys. Facebook, let's go.
Have a quick look at Starbucks here, guys. 66 even to the downside. If we're going to roll over here in the futures, I like things that are up upon some key levels. You can see all the volume that's gone through there. This is basically where the move started in the morning to the upside, and then you see it fail to break out one time. I actually tried this long on a failed break at exactly 66 even, so I'm looking for a short here. It's nothing to do with the relative strength in the name, whether I like it. It's just a nice key level as the futures are failing to the downside. Virgin finally starts to move. It breaks 17. I'm adding to that position, but I also want to see if we can't touch some Starbucks at 66.
That's hilarious. What a bad move getting out of that Facebook. I'll be back into that one.
Bounced right there.
Not sure why I even got out of that one. That was pretty silly, guys. Okay, looking at Uber right now. I still, that's too bad. That Facebook was an easy trade. Okay, getting Uber right now, looking at this little 2640 break. We'll hit that if that comes in. Yeah, I'm still a little distraught. That Facebook was so easy. Sorry, guys. Should not have given myself 30 cents worth of room. That was pretty stupid. When I've taken $5 winners on the stock, we should not be taking 30, 40 cent losers. When we just took 80 cent winner, then I shouldn't have got out there. So, but we captured our profits. Facebook has been a definite cash grab for me. So we're smiling on Facebook all day, but that was a little bit of a mistake, Mr. Wickens.
Well, sorry, we were just talking about some programming.
All right, throw it back to us. That's fine.
Yeah, that's all. That's
okay,
quite all right.
Yeah, Brendan right there. I thought I heard that in the background there.
Apparently not, but I'm looking here at Virgin, guys. I talked about 17. If we break through here, we're adding to our position. I'm also trying to add at 17, 30 or 40 as we build a bit of a short. You are seeing the futures base out here around 2450 on the ES if you're tracking the S&P 500. It's trying to get back to the upside, but the real move that we saw this morning, it's really tapered off quite a bit. This is why you're seeing Sleepy Ashton. It's really easy at this time of day in a range like this to get chopped up. So I'm looking for a breakout through 66 on that Starbucks. I'm looking for a breakdown over here in Virgin Galactic at 17 even. That's probably a better way to get into position as things start to get going, as opposed to digging in when they're not moving at all. So and there it goes. As we talk about it, there's 17 break. We add to it. 17.10's our short now, and it goes all the way down to 16.68. I was just talking about how it was not going, and then the next thing you know, you're staring a 50-cent winner in the face. So there's the final break that we talked about, wanting to add on 17 in Virgin. So nice little move to the downside there. We'll see if it can't sustain it. Futures didn't even move at all.
And some stocks will move without the futures, guys, believe it or not. So here we go. I'm still a little bit upset about Facebook. Would love to get this back long again if it comes back into 155 or so. I'm still waiting on that Uber trade. This has been a big time stock for me as well. So Uber still waiting at 2640. That's not going to come, but look at this. We could maybe break it back above 27 on a futures move. So I think actually Uber to the top side could be a decent trade. We are getting ready. Eventually we'll be throwing to the wrap, where we'll talk about some stocks that we either traded or didn't trade. Right now, we've been doing stocks that we've traded and to review. So it's a little bit kind of like our trade of the day. We'll hope you guys like that coming up at 11:40. But Uber right now, just looking at my other chart, 27 is not a horrible spot here to go long if these futures go. We already made this move to the top side, 27.40, 27.50 on Uber. But as you can see, we were short, and just this is where we cashed in a bunch here. That was a mistake, so we get in in and out. I talked about that. But we shorted Uber. I've loved it to the short side. Not sure I'm going to like it the same to the long, but we'll try it if it does break above 27, guys.
All kinds of strength today in a name like a Peloton, which has just been holding out on the highs for like the last, on relatively low volume. If you're going to look at it here, you can see outside of one volume spike at 1105, but it is holding out at the top end of the range. Watch out for 25 even on Peloton. It's been making a march off the bottom. It did have a bit of a turnaround, and this is not a random price that we turned around a few days ago at 27.50. If you go back to the IPO day, the high of that day was 28 even, so you should have anticipated at least a little bit of resistance at that price. It's now marching on the way back up, so 25 seems like a nice little breakout point on Peloton if we can get to the upside. Again, it's just one of those stocks that's been strong. It's not doing a tremendous amount of volume, but $1 million is good enough for me on the half day, and then a nice little break, hopefully, through this 25 even. So going to get a stop order ready to go. 25.05 is the actual high of the day. Just have two shorts on right now in Virgin and in Target. You know about both of those. Going to add on Peloton to the long side on a break of 25.05 if we get a move up.
Yeah, and I see my man there, and how's it going? I say pokeroo to you too, Baron, and hope you're having a good day at home. Listen to your mother, eat your vegetables, and I will be home very soon.
Veggies
and we'll play something. Maybe we'll play some Guess Who or Sequence, maybe. I know you like that game, so we will be doing that. What's up? Everybody smash that like button for Baron TV as well. So yeah, it's been good. Why don't we throw it over to Valeria for European update?
Hey guys, welcome back to the European update. Well, the Europe is closing in less than an hour, and as you can see, indices are bouncing back green. Well, Britain is up 2.59%. Only Germany for now is down 0.12%. France is up 2.41%, with Spain up 1.29%. Russia is heading up as well. It's now 1.17%. Well, that's all for Europe today. Back to the traders.
Ooh, back to us already.
Thank you very much, Valeria. We jumped into that target, but here's the problem. We get that 94 break. You get this level at 93.30, so it just holds over and over again. So what we're going to do is change the structure, is just take these 50-cent wins when we get them. That's not a bad return. And then maybe more jump back in at 94 every time it touches up here while maintaining a core position. So I'm going to stay short in case we get the breakdown that we're looking for over in target, but we're just going to work this for some scalps. In addition to that, if it wants to hold this range for too long, you don't want to get stubborn. Make some money while it's happening.
Yeah. Exactly. That's great. And this for you, Baron. Here we go. We'll pop a wheelie. How do you guys like this for a trade? Facebook, we take the long again, and we're not scalping anything. We're taking trades. Well, we are. I mean, it's only taking me a minute. I just took 80 cents right there. We don't wait around for these things, guys. There's an 80-cent winner right there on Facebook. We're long 155.19. There it is. Bang, bang. Look at these trades right here, guys. Picked up these bottoms out at the top. I told you how silly that was right there, but we take it and we drop that off. Bang! How you like those winners, my friend? And here's a little jaw drop for you. Here it goes. Facebook now $1 in the money. Oh yeah, and Baron, you want to take an Uber, buddy? Here we go. Let's ride this Uber to the top side, making the moves. We're long Uber 26.97 right now. Let's see if that can go. Everything raining in, and here you go. Oh, this is for you as well, Baron. One of your favorite TV shows right there. Wheel of Fortune. Let's go to the top side here. Facebook now busting out, guys. We're long 155.19. Hit the Canadian flag. This is a $1.40 winner. There you go. Watch the trades. Follow me, guys. I've had so many of these today. It's been a fantastic day.
Zoom about to break out here. Looks like made a bottom at 144. That's a higher low. You can see it right here teetering. Nice little breakdown at 145 even. This looks like a good little spot, but you want to see it take 146 and then run towards the high. That was actually an exit point on our short when we took that $2 trade. So stop order about to go in on Zoom. And again, you really want to see the futures break to the upside, but I'm only short right now, looking for some long positions. Zoom's probably going to be one of them on a 146 break. As I mentioned, getting in and out of that target at 94, 93.50, you take the 50 pennies, and then we're back in again at 94, and then you're back on the bid here to take 50 or 60 cents. So you're rinsing and repeating on this one because you think there can be a bigger move and you maintain that core position, but if it wants to keep doing this, you got to take advantage of it. So that's what we're going to keep doing over and over again. As long as we hold this range, we'll just keep cycling in and out of these shares.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so two different ranges there, cycling through, and I'm holding on. I mean, I've still been holding this BAC forever, and Facebook right back down again. Well, not right back down, only a 90-cent winner off of that right now. And our Uber, look, it tried to break through 26.97 there. We took a few small little profitable outs right there, but right before 27. It did get as high as 27.04. We're going to drop this if it comes back down below here, 26. 80 or 26.78, I guess, will be our out on this one. But right now, Facebook still, guys, cashing in. You can see all the profits Neil and I are doing there on the bottom. All of our trades. There's Boeing, there's Uber, so on and so forth coming in. So you can see how many pennies we're taking out of the stock. And yeah, it's been a bang up day today, to say the least. I hope you guys are also having success today. It's just been so good.
Yeah, actually, finally a bounce over here in oil. You know, haven't even looked at this. We did talk about it at the open, the weakness. It couldn't really catch any kind of a base. But a dollar move upside here, now positive on the session. So worth tracking some names here. We can actually hold this. You know, we've talked about a few of the stronger ones, whether it's going to be a Chevron or maybe an XOM. I actually kind of like Chevron. But I was just looking at XOM back to that $37 mark, which was a nice little area of lots of volume. We opened at 36.50, just shy of that. But I would like a break through that the 37 area on this if we can hold the top end in oil. We did not get out at 93.50 there on target, so we're going to look to see why that happened. I want to be cycling those shares as much as we can. Virgin back to that 17 even mark, so we're back in the money after adding through at 17.10 again. We are now ready for the wrap. Talk about some of the names that we've been trading, how they worked out, and how we could have possibly improved, if at all. Let's go to the desk with Brennan.
All right, guys, yeah, time for the wrap. We'll get things wrapped up for the morning, heading towards 12 o'clock here, about 20 minutes to go. Before we get to 12 o'clock in the Eastern time zone, we'll have a look at North American markets here in a second when we get the board put up, still in positive territory for the most part, but a little bit of a choppy session so far for most of these markets. Back and forth and back and forth. We're still kind of grinding higher. You can see the Dow definitely leading things to the upside, up 2%. S&P 0.5%. Tech stocks are struggling a bit. I want to talk about Apple off the bat here first, but TSX, first of all, still in positive territory here in Toronto. 4.5% for Brazil, if you're following along with the BOVESPA. Bitcoin to the downside. You can see crude oil not really doing a heck of a lot. 0.25% higher. Gold is negative on the session. Welcome to the wrap, guys. We'll have a look at some individual names here, some stocks and some trades that Neil and Sean took throughout the morning. If you were wondering their thought process behind any of the trades that they took throughout the morning, throw them in the chat. We'll have a review for the last 20 minutes of the show. I'm going to go over to Sean, first of all, with Apple this morning. We talked about it at 9 o'clock. Apple with an upgrade from Deutsche Bank today, saying that had been too expensive over the past couple of months, but finally they like this one, Sean, to the upside. Apple was a decent opportunity, I think, today.
Yes, it was. Okay, just looking here. Facebook now, big time winner all the way up. Look where we picked this one, 155.14. We just get some more shares right now. Multiple dollars in the money once again as the party just keeps going, Brendan. Everything moving well. Uber to the upside as well. Maybe we'll take some out here, 74s on this. Look where we're long, 155.18, guys. Look where the stock is. We're moonshotting here on Facebook, guys. We called that just another winner for this guy here. I've been watching Apple, been watching Facebook now as we're going topside here, Brendan. But you did ask, of course, about Apple. So let's go over to that. And this has been my #1 stock today. And yeah, the last couple days, I took some early trades and got smoked. So now we'll wait. And I don't wait too often. I wait till 9:31 on this one. And we take a 252 break. I mean, it is what it is. This was the high there. I brought that to you guys live at 9 o'clock. I said Apple 252. We actually loved that trade, same as the Facebook longs that we have as well. Look at this market starting to go bang. But we take out early profits. The thing about Apple is it moves with the market, as we know. So this is about a $1, $1.50 winner there. As here here we go. Sorry, Brandon, I have to go back over here to Facebook. The party just keeps going upside here. The cash registers are ringing in now. 156.88. We're long 155.18. We also take more, which I gave you this trade as well. 156.50. So here comes another trade to the upside. We just double cash out at 157. So the sirens are ringing today, Brendan. I hope you're enjoying along with us as well on the show. But Apple continues to be great. We did take a nice little short here. Unfortunately, that didn't work. These longs were fantastic. This long here, 250. I love 250 breaks. That was a monster winner again. We haven't traded it since, but look, wait for level breaks, take them. That's why I continue to beat up stocks like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Uber, and everything. We're waiting for these breaks, and here's just another example. We take this 27 break on Uber, and now we're going to the upside on this one as well. It's just been such a great day. Technically, I feel like I'm getting so much better reading these charts. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well at home, guys.
Let's talk a little bit about Zoom. We mentioned over the past little while how strong Zoom has been. Yesterday, however, was the first real red day. If you have a look at the daily chart, you'll see a big gap to the upside, and then, big red candle on the day yesterday. However, today we come in kind of holding around where it closed yesterday in the pre-market. We do get a bit of a dip down. Sean, you found the long in Zoom as well.
Yeah, and believe it or not, this is basically the same time. It's a little bit after we had that Apple trade. And yeah, look, again, I was talking about it. I know in the pre-market, Neil was talking about it pulling back to 130. It kind of did in the pre-market a little bit, down to 137 down here. But the point is, I wait for this top to get blown off here at 143. And there's a $2 winner, and there is a $3 winner on Zoom. So up, up, up and away. The reason why we got dumped it right here, though, guys, and again, look, my mistake. First of all, BAC 56-cent winner right now, Facebook 48-cent winner, and Uber a 10-cent winner. But right here, guys, this little play, it kept failing up here. Maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger. It kept failing right here at 148. So when it failed on me once, twice, 3 times, I did put a stop in to make sure we caught that $3. Look, I mean, this is just the way it is. I've been absolutely destroying a lot of these stocks today. Hopefully the funnel can, there goes Uber even more and more. Right now. The high 149, I'd look for it to take that out again. If we get a monster rally in the market, which appears we are here as the net just keeps growing. Zoom to the upside, nice little 7%. We do like that stock. However, I really feel that the gas is probably out of this one, Brendan. But right now, Zoom to the upside, I do like it. Just to go back on Facebook, just does break there, 157. I gave you this trade. I know Neil's been back and forth with it, but we held on to these longs here. Bang, that's $2 winner. You want some nice winners. There you go, $2 off the bottom. And then I gave you this technical break of 156.50 there, and that you never even had to worry about that one. That goes right away, 70 cents in the money. So hope you guys are enjoying the show. The winners keep coming.
All right, let's shift over to Tesla. No news individually on Tesla today, but a stock that's been very interesting over the past week or 2 weeks to the downside after the huge move higher, obviously. Yesterday was the first real big green day to the upside. Tesla is positive on the day, back to 7% here. I'm just noticing. We were talking a lot about the $500 level yesterday. Couldn't even get down to $510. Neil, you had Tesla.
This is probably my most frustrating day here, putting a stop order in. I talked about 540, and we're on the way back up. You saw that flush in the futures. We'd already identified 540 as a price that we liked. I actually mentioned in the tape, we get that break there. We're looking for about a $10 move. As it broke to the upside and you're executing a stop order, end up taking a $2 profit, and I didn't want to jump back in when I would have had to buy back at 546 or 545 instead of the 540 entry that we did have initially. It was a nice move, and the best part about it was you get that move back towards the top. It failed at exactly that same point where we're taking off our trades to the long side, whether it's in a Facebook or whether you're looking at Microsoft that time. The futures topped out. It was the same turnaround over there, and Tesla would have been the exact same trade. So all 3 of those things happening at the same time off of the open wild action, and one little keystroke error causes the third of our long trades to be taken off a little bit too early. But the structure was fantastic. I wasn't looking at this one to the short side, but the reversal just as good. And this was all about what happened in the market at this top. It's not necessarily even about the pre-market high. This was all about the futures off of that level. We tried to get to that 2,500. It failed at 2,480. It was an easy rollover. You saw us taking profits on everything. This is where we would have had the profit out in Tesla instead of the keystroke for only $2.
Interesting moves in all of these names that we're going to talk about here. Every chart that I pull up almost looks identical to the previous one. I want to talk about Starbucks here a little bit. We didn't mention this one in the pre-market. However, there was a note that I remember reading in the pre-market saying that Bill Ackman did cover all of his hedges for this move down, making a couple of billion, and put that money to work in a few different names, including Starbucks. So Starbucks with a nice run up into the open this morning. Neil, you were in that one too.
Oh, sorry, Zoom just triggered in for me there. Very quickly, Zoom, we talked about this level 146. It made a nice little base at 144. There's the breakthrough right here. We just grabbed long again. This is, again, the same price that we got in out of our short. We're going to give this one probably to this 144 even area, see if we can't take the top off. 149 is the actual to the penny high of the day. I mean, Zoom really likes these even dollars. Got slipped to 146.13. We still have shorts on, cycling in and out of target and space. We kind of have that, I don't know, you call it the schlong, whatever you want to. We got one long, two shorts. As the market's still holding this 20 handle range here.
Yeah, big move up.
Literally not much of a move up, but Zoom now bouncing a little bit here. I do think we can get back to this 148, catch a couple of bucks.
Yeah, well, I've also, right before we go back to Brendan here, Uber right now, guys, again, I mean, I don't know, you can just rewind. That's the best thing about YouTube. You can go back and, I mean, we gave you, or I gave you this trade right here, and I hope you took it. 26.96, I'm long right here, breaking through 27 on Uber. So here's a nice little 20-cent move here on this $20 name on Uber. That continues to work for us, Brendan. I actually love trading Uber, and I think I'll be hammering that a bit more tomorrow.
All right, guys, let's go to the banks. We were talking a little bit yesterday about some of the banks moving around with the overall market. They have been relatively strong versus the overall market, but overall the move's pretty muted. BAC has been on the radar over the past couple of days for you, Sean. Talk us through those trades today.
Yeah, boom. I got to find that throwing down the money there. Yeah, this is my favorite cash one right here. But yeah, BAC, guys. Wow, this was probably, and I noticed Kevin there talking about it on the chat. Thanks for that good word as well on that move. But yeah, look, I was just looking at the banks. We see this great move up. I noticed BAC was nicely up to $22. Then look at this fade all the way back down. I actually believe that the market would be up. So we tried to find the bank here that we could pick. And I just said, he said, why did we pick this instead of JP Morgan? Really, I lost almost $500 trading JP Morgan yesterday. So I was a little bit gun shy to go back to it. But what we do is I just noticed, and it was kind of just a simple one and just off a minute chart. It touched down right here, 2040, right? 2040 again. 2045 right there. So as it came back up, I took this break, 2060. And I mean, obviously it didn't go for me right away, but as the futures were moving around, we average, and I protect. And actually my best in was 44 down here before it does not break 40, and then we enjoy the move all the way back up to the point where I'm still holding this. So right now BAC, if it does break down below 20, I think it was 2090 or so, we'll get out of this one. But BAC, let the monies fly right now because we've been loving this stock, and we'll be back on it tomorrow, don't worry.
All right, guys, let's go back to the retail sector. Macy's moving to the downside today. This one did have a decent day yesterday, moving higher. It did catch a bit of a gap this morning to the upside. We were actually holding $6 up here in the pre-market, but a decent flush all the way back down to about $5 if you were able to see that relative weakness early enough and then catch that overall market move back into negative territory. Neil, you were involved in Macy's today.
Yeah, this one was about that turnaround that we just talked about. We're sitting there in those longs. They're fantastic. You're making all that money. And when it rolls over, you can either reverse in some of those positions, or I wanted to take something that was already weak. You can sort of look at Macy's here on that way back in. It gives you this break of the opening range bottom. And the retailers are weak. That's been my bias for a while now. I'm certainly not going to be alone on that. And you caught that bottom break at the same time. So you look over, it was a great setup. We added in a couple of times. Very fortunate to be able to get some shares there on that level break at 570. You can see us scaling out and then holding some for 530. We talked about that target, wanting to get 530, and we'll just sort of go back to yesterday in the yesterday's session. We'll zoom way out here, and then you can sort of see this 530 breakout point This was a breakout yesterday in the session. It was a pre-market top before. This is why we pegged 530. It does end up going a little bit further than that, but you have to have it out somewhere. Went through a higher time frame to identify where we'd give this move to. So nice little win there, 570. You're taking some out for about 20 cents. You take the rest out for about 40. You get that nice little return on a small cap, not a small cap, but a cheaper stock. Actually, Macy's is right back at this price. So if the futures want to roll over here and continue to go back down, I like this entry point in Macy's. You give it to that 580. It's about the same price we were shorting before, so worth a look there, certainly.
All right, we'll have a look at a couple more things here. Again, guys, if you have anything you want them to go back over at the end of the session every morning, throw it in the chat. We'll have a bit of a review at the end of the show every single day. We mentioned some of the cruise lines coming back to the upside in the pre-market this morning. Royal Caribbean did come out and say they were extending their operational halt until May 12th, which was an additional 2 weeks on top of the first one that they did issue. But Neil, you were involved in CCL, did have, I guess, a couple of opportunities here to the downside.
Yeah, sorry, just quickly adjusting some orders there as we're still working that target position over and over again. CCL was a bane of my existence, working this short position. And again, you talk about that relative weakness. On the pop, it's a name that I wanted to jump into. It just didn't work out, and you have to stick to your rules. It came back in, that same thing that I just talked about over there in Macy's, where it was the breakdown point. When it retraced that level, I was looking for a turnaround in the futures, working off of this 1465. It does trigger me out. This is why you stick to your rules. If you get stubborn with this one, it never really works in the money for you, and then you're looking at a much bigger loss here. So you work a short at an average price of 1440, right in the middle here at VWAP. We risk about 25 cents. There was upside on a 14 even break to give you a work down into 13 even. So I like the structure of the trade. I like the short overall in that space. You stick to your stop. You restrict that loss a little bit. That one and Starbucks, to me, have been my two bad stocks on the session. It's about controlling those losses ultimately. I like to have names in both directions. I don't usually get too overly biased in one way. If I trade 11 stocks, I'm never going to be 11 for 11. I like to take small hits. This is what you do over here in Carnival, and it's actually maintained that level. So it broke 1465. Now it's been holding it as a bid, although I like longs in other places.
All right, guys, that's about all I'm seeing as far as reviews go for today. Why don't we leave it with, maybe a little bit of a thought on what's coming up this afternoon. Obviously, no confirmation of the bill being passed as of yet. When that does happen, we'll see what the market does. We're following along as far as the NASDAQ futures go. I mean, we're kind of just chopping back and forth around this 7,500 at the moment. If we do get a move away from 7,500 in either direction, what do we look at this afternoon?
I mean, for the time being, I'm going to go back to this target. We didn't review it as one of the trades, but it's starting to really dig in here. But we've been taking higher outs each time we short around 94, 94.10. Before we were getting 93.50s. Now we've been getting 93.60. So you're maintaining 50-cent wins, but it's kind of sliding up here. So I'm not going to let it break this 94.40 mark. I did think we could test the bottom end, the top end of this little bottom range here and catch $1 to $1.50. But the futures, the market overall is doing literally nothing. So expecting to get a massive breakout past the 50-cent win, which is a good return, it's fine, is getting less and less likely. So that's the case with Target. I am watching a couple of names to break out as well. Version we have to the short side. I'll review this one. It's the only two positions we have on. And we got the nice trade in Version, adding to it after taking 1730. We added to this one at 17, and when it broke, we took it out at 1673, maintaining some short that we want to add back in right here at that 1725 mark again. So I'm going to stay net short in both these names unless we get a breakout in the market, or unless this one breaks 1750.
Yeah, I like Square. Brendan, I thought maybe we would talk about that in the review, but Square has been absolutely huge. We've profited that. You see on the bottom, I only took out $2 out of Square. There you go, $2. You can see the bottom. That's what I want you guys keep focusing on as we go. This is the profits that we're taking out, so you can sort of get an idea of kind of the stocks that we've been trading. And Square, I mean, this was a mistake, and I apologize for that. We did break the 50-50 there. Thought maybe we would come back to the downside, but we did reinvest back here. Reposition ourselves back here at 51.30. Yeah, I guess we can say that. And then bang to the upside. Nice little $2 winner on that one. So I do like Square to the upside. And I'm still massaging this Uber trade as it just keeps going up, guys. We still got 20% of our position on here for Uber. So not to sound like a broken record, but I do like this one to the top side as well, especially if we can get near this 27.50. but right now it's a 25-cent winner on this $20 name, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Target.
It's been a decent day. I like Target and Walmart. There's a few good opportunities. There's some of the Canadian banks. Watch out for that. Watch out for market on close orders as well today. Lots of volume coming through, and pay attention to the news. You never know what's going to hit the wire.
Yeah, we don't actually, you're waiting around to see officially, you mentioned there that bill coming through, and there's still some details I think a lot of people were waiting for this morning. I'm going to roll off of this Target trade and just take the dollar right here. It is what it is. It's had a lot of trouble getting to the downside, so ultimately we're taking 50-cent scalps over and over again. I think it's going to give us some more opportunities to get back in, so we'll roll out of this one fully now for $1. We just have a Virgin Galactic, but I'd love to know what day it is today, or what's special about it at least, and what we do when that time comes around is we throw to Valeria and find out.
Thank you, Neil, and thank you to you viewers, first of all, for being active, for all of your comments and questions, for all of your likes, and for all of your shares. Please share our video with more people, hit more likes, and subscribe for our show. We are live every day for you, and we want to know that you join what we do. Also, guys, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, of course, YouTube, and TikTok. Check out our TikTok. You can find us at tradertv.live. And today is the National Waffle Day. Do you guys like waffles?
See, that's the problem. See how it's just Sweden. I feel like we've already done.
We did Waffle Day like a couple of weeks ago.
Come on, Valeria. We need national days in North America.
You can have National Waffle Day as many times as you want. I absolutely love waffles, and if anybody the only thing about waffles is you have to have authentic maple syrup. None of that bottle, store-bought nonsense. You want the real stuff. If you've never had it, it's absolutely fantastic. Brennan, your waffle thoughts?
I was going to reiterate Sean's thoughts there. I feel like we already had Waffle Day in this month at least, but maybe there's one. Maybe there's one every month. Great show, guys. About to wrap up here, I guess. I mean, it's been a decent move back, into the middle of the range here. Is it going to take this announcement to kind of get us pushing away either direction from this level?
Okay, I have no idea. Valeria's giving me giving me a problem over here because she's claiming that we didn't have.
Look, we did just have Waffle Day.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
The best part about it,
Valeria.
There's video evidence of this. I'm sure we can find it somewhere.
It was oatmeal waffle, and this is Swedish waffle, and that was
same thing.
Whatever.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Valeria, for that update there.
Never a dull moment. Brennan, you want to talk about strength in the market? We're just holding 75 on the NASDAQ. Again, for me, it just felt like I want a retest of that 2480 mark. I think that's what it's going to be all about here. Can we get and sustain some of these top end, these high end levels? That's a story because it's been yo-yo up and down. We had such a fantastic record-setting day, at least for the last 70 years or whatever, to the upside in the market. And when can we get some follow-through on that second day? And we're basically flat on the session. The ES is up 0.7, and the NASDAQ is up down still 0.6%. So if we don't take out 2,500 at any point this afternoon, I'll be probably looking for shorts the entire way until that happens.
Yeah, okay. Well, why don't we, I don't know if Brent has any last thoughts or not, but Uber right now, 40 pennies, keeps going upside. The fun continues on the show. We'll be back tomorrow. It's been a great one. Thank you to Lucas and Rob today. Thank you to Valeria, obviously. Thanks to our traders for some of them coming in here that are allowed. Yeah, but we're on a skeleton staff again, so I hope all you guys like the show. Like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube.
Stay in the chat.
Follow me on Twitter. Here we go. Come on, Uber. But it's been a good one.
Absolutely. And so without further ado, you've seen the entire team here. Happy Waffle Day. And for Valeria, as always on the chat, keep sending your questions and comments to her. We absolutely love it. She loves getting them. And also our good friend Brennan Wickens at the desk, Mr. Professional. And for myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is TradeTV.live. See you tomorrow.
Even though we're 2 feet away from each other.
It's probably not.